Where we have seen the cause of some of this spike has been behavior that has been fine and normal during non-pandemic times for people who are 20 to 29, and that includes getting inebriated and socializing with people outside your household. That means late night at restaurants and bars that have converted to restaurants. It means at private parties. And we need to do what we can, but more importantly, you need to do what you can to make sure that we don't let our judgment lapse from social distancing because we're inebriated. Right? So there's a safer way to do these things in a pandemic. I know part of the fun is being around 80, 100 people. Can't do that now. Learn the new way. Learn to do 3, 4, 5 people. Have fun in a safe way. Normally in our state, last call is 2 in the morning. For the next 30 days, last call for alcohol is going to be 10 p.m. statewide. The state of inebriation in a public place is inconsistent with social distancing. And last call for alcohol will be 10 o'clock. People can stay out as long as they like. But if you do want to get inebriated, please do it at home with just a few other people. And don't let your judgment lapse.
Those were the sound clips that really stood out on the 21st when Jared Polis, our governor, he put past the mandate on the 10 p.m. We will no longer be able to serve any alcohol, and that will be the topic of conversation today as we continue. A lot's going on. It is a Friday, July 24th, and we appreciate you joining us right here on the Modern Eater Show. Of course, we still have tickets available for Summer Dinner Series. And
I can't believe that.
Go to summerdinnerseries.com. Myself, Greg Hollenbach, in studio with Brian Freeman and Jay Parker, Studio Kitchen, Colorado on this Friday. Looking forward to just a fantastic weekend ahead. But you won't be out drinking past 10 o'clock, that's for darn sure. Let me just set the stage for you right now. On Zoom, we're going to go to her. Her name is Sonia Riggs. She's on the show quite a lot, and from the Colorado Restaurant Association, we'll welcome you back. President and CEO Sonia Riggs. How are you, Sonia?
Hi, Greg. I'm good. I wish it wasn't under these circumstances.
Yep, that's for sure. A lot to talk about and cover. I want to introduce our in-studio guest with us here. This is going to be just a great conversation as a roundtable of very smart, intelligent people that are working very hard in this industry for a common goal. And Mark Berzins from the Little Pub Company joins us. I welcome you as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, taking the time out today, along with Juan Padro from Culinary Creative. Good to see you, Juan.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Okay, a lot to cover, but let's do this. Let's jump to Sonia right now. Sonia, there's a few updates, and we'd like to just get your perspective of what's happening here and any updates or revisions on that mandate.
Well, when I spoke to the governor's office today, apparently there was some miscommunication, which we're trying to get more clarification on because originally when this came out, basically what we're talking about is, as you had mentioned earlier, that bars and restaurants cannot sell, I need to be very clear, cannot sell alcohol past 10 o'clock. People can still consume alcohol past 10 o'clock, which I think is an important distinction. But when they first introduced this, they said that every liquor licensee in the state had to shut down at their sales at 10, including liquor stores, and they've now come back and said, never mind, liquor stores can stay open until midnight. And in fact, restaurants and bars can deliver alcohol past 10 p.m. and can sell it for delivery past 10 p.m., but not for takeout, which I think is a bit strange. Why can you buy alcohol at a liquor store for takeout and to take it home, but you can't at a restaurant after 10? So I'm trying to get clarification from them on that. But this is really continuing to gut an industry that's already been decimated, and that's where my big concern is. Restaurants are going above and beyond. Restaurants and bars are going above and beyond to keep their customers and their employees safe, and adding this further restriction is a big blow.
Yeah. Okay. That's where we'll begin this conversation. Gents, anybody want to jump on to the end of that?
Sure, I'm glad to jump in on it as a company that does a fair amount of late night business, and as a parent, 3 of my adult children are in their 20s, so I think I know a fair amount about 20 to 29-year-old behavior. And the thing I found remarkable as I watched this slow motion car accident happened during the Polis press conference is he acknowledged in one breath what a good job we're doing here in Colorado with bars and restaurants operating under the guidelines. You know, we're not Texas, we're not Florida. We have not had that free-for-all of unmasked people just partying in our places. And I think the data very much backs that up. Sonia, I think, has more details, but a small fraction of the outbreaks in our state, out of the 500-some outbreaks, I think less than 10 are attributed to on-premise liquor licensed establishments. And I believe maybe less than, maybe not even one in the city and county of Denver. And so we're doing a good job. We are enforcing social distancing, all the things the governor is concerned about. It is illegal in our establishments to be publicly, visibly intoxicated. So when he talks about inebriation, that is something in our regulated industry. We are prohibited from serving people who are visibly inebriated in our places. We are required to sanitize regularly between guests. We have beer being served by people who have washed their hands in single-use glassware in many cases. We're disinfecting bathroom handles. All the things that at the home party, I can tell you how home parties roll. The kids are going to Argonaut. They're grabbing a couple 30 racks of Keystone Light or Natty Light, and they're going and playing beer pong in someone's backyard. They're sharing Solo cups. They're sharing beer cans. They're touching the same refrigerator handle. They're not wearing masks. They're using the same bathrooms. It is everything the governor has said he doesn't want. And then to add insult to injury, he comes out yesterday and says, oh, but liquor stores can sell all the way up to midnight. So when he says he doesn't want the summer of the house party, he is basically doing everything right now to take these young people out of a highly regulated, we're one of the most highly regulated industries in the state. He is taking away our highly regulated and highly compliant industry as a tool to manage the nightlife of these young people, and he's putting them in the exact circumstance that the data shows we've had COVID spread.
Do you think it's an insult, the way he's treating everybody?
Yeah. No, that's a great point, Mark. I want to just correct your numbers, but you're essentially right on. But I think it was closer to like 15 or so outbreaks, but with on-premise establishments. But to your point, it was an extremely low number. It was like 3 to 4% of all of the outbreaks in the state were at restaurants. And
but how many of those were liquor licensed restaurants, Sonia? How many of those were even open?
So about 33 altogether were restaurants, and about half were liquor licensees. So that's where I got the 15 or so number. But it's still it's an extremely small number altogether that accounts for an outbreak. And I just want to jump on what Mark's saying is that, you know, you're taking people out of a highly regulated industry where they're being monitored by sober people that are trained to monitor them and are cleaning their tables in between every use and are cleaning those bathrooms every hour or more frequently. They've got hand sanitizer plentiful and trained people, and you are putting them into an environment where they're not being watched. And we're still waiting to get the information that the governor's office is saying that they've got on why they've made this a law at this point right now, and it's pretty frustrating to an industry that's really, really hurting.
Okay, just a reset. We've got a large audience that's joining us here, and rightfully so. This topic is not going to go anywhere, at least for the next 30 days, that's for sure. And as we welcome you here to the stream, that's the voice of Sonia Riggs from the Colorado Restaurant Association, Mark Berzins' Little Pub Company, and Juan Padro Culinary Creative. And I think the sentiment of what we're talking about right now is we're begging for data and to just really make decisions one way or another. I think that the lack of data, or therefore and there's a lawsuit that's been drawn up from the Tavern League, and I understand that Wednesday that there will be a hearing. I'm not very well versed on that, but there's a lot of discovery that's going on to try and find more data that substantiates either one way or another with the decision-making process. The governor identified a problem that is, in his estimation, 20 to 29-year-olds. Now, I know that it wouldn't have passed the sniff test for anybody. There would be a huge uprising if the governor would have went out and addressed just that. 20 to 29-year-olds will be ID'd and sent home, and you can't drink if it's 10 o'clock. Now that would have never flown at all, but that's real. So how do you sneak it in the back door? It's just like this. When the protesters were downtown, you mandate a curfew. You don't say we don't want you protesting in downtown, huddling together. So that's what we're seeing right now from the bureaucrats and the politicians get together out of legislature. These things aren't being voted on. This is just a decision that's being mandated, and the governor seems to do these things on his own quite often. There is some pushback right now. I think it's an interesting thing. This lawsuit should be pretty telling. Do you have more information on that lawsuit, Mark? Are you a part of the Tavern League?
I am a part of the Tavern League, and I got much more involved when the suit moved from, it was in its original form a capacity suit, just calling out the arbitrary nature of 50 guest max up to 7,000 some square feet. And I think if you have more than 7,500 square feet, you're allowed to have 100 people maximum indoors, which clearly anyone who knows anything about math and statistics, it really doesn't make sense that if you have a 5,000 square foot place, you probably should be able to have 75 people. So it didn't particularly impact us since we have smaller footprint operations, and I didn't feel like I should weigh in too heavily since I don't have a dog in that fight. But when the rollback came on the hours, we have a number of places that serve predominantly industry crowds, and all of us know industry workers, many industry workers are 20 to 29 years old. Most of them get cut from restaurants at 9:30, 10 o'clock. You do your side work, and you're out having a slice of pizza and your first beer of the night, often at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And you take one of our locations like the Ice House Tavern, that's over half of the business there. And for the staff that works there, that's well over half of their tips come from those industry workers who are notoriously generous. And now, through no fault of their own, that's just being, I think, rather arbitrarily dictated that those people are to blame. And I'm guessing cell phone data probably shows lots of 20 to 29-year-olds in bars and restaurants, and you would think someone at the health department would say, gosh, most kitchen and front of the house workers, especially the junior team, are almost all 20 to 29 years old. So I don't think there's a correlation there.
It's interesting what he says, Greg, because this is one of the first things we spoke about is industry people and what's the biggest effect to those people and how are they going to let off steam at the end of the night. But I think to your point, or counterpoint maybe, Mark, do you think at all this thing, do you notice it in the last couple of weeks it's come down from 43 as the median age now to 33? I don't know if you saw that data yet, that the most of the cases right now just dropped 10 years in the last couple weeks. And so that's where we thought he was being afraid. I mean, do you think that that's valid, that fear of the data?
No, I'm sure the data is accurate. I mean, the young and the reckless, 100%. Like I said, three of my 4 children are in this demographic.
But the conversation right now, I'm sorry, Mark, go ahead.
But my point is, just because you know where they're congregating, you can't make the immediate leap that, hey, where any of them are congregating, it must be inebriation. It does not. There's no direct line showing that. We don't believe there's any data. When I see these outbreaks, and an outbreak is 2 cases, I'm not aware of any publicly driven outbreaks that have been laid at the feet of our industry at all. I know there's been a couple outbreaks that have been among staff, but that's my concern. Is there is I think for anyone who's older than 29, you immediately look down and say, let's make the drinking age 21. Let's make it 24. It doesn't affect you. And I think there's a lot of assumptions about about everyone.
Well, let's move back to Sonia's point, and that's really what I wanted to do is, and I'm under the same thought process of I'd rather have folks in a controlled environment where professionals are not only serving but cleaning at that same time. It just seems to make more sense to me. Anytime you take something away, especially when it's legal, you're relegating folks to go to shadows and into alleys and to darkness to find a place to where they can partake in an activity that they're going to do anyway. Juan, I've never heard you. I've never seen you this quiet before in my life. I know you've got something ready to go. I want to do this. If you guys are all good on time, Sonia, are you in and out? Do you have another appointment? Do you want to stick around? We do have to take a quick break.
Stick around for a few minutes.
Okay, stick around for a few minutes. I want to play this CBS News piece. This is really something a couple of days ago that I saw. It struck my interest. Juan Padro's featured into this CBS News piece, and I think that might spark the conversation into the next segment to hear from Juan Padro. So without further ado, Jay, bring that computer up, and then we'll break off.
Last call for buying alcohol will be moving from 2 a.m. to 10 p.m. He is still finalizing the order. Our Alan Janae reporting tonight on the expected impact. Alan, we do know this will cover casinos and liquor stores and the already struggling restaurants and bars.
Well, Jim, Thursday night at this time, the alcohol service will have been shut down a few minutes ago at 10 p.m. across the state. Now, for bars like Blake Street Tavern right here, they were pinning a lot of hopes on the return of pro baseball and basketball and hockey on TV and the people to watch it to try and recover $1.8 million in losses. But one bar manager told me today, this is a punch in the gut. The inside space, you got the outside space.
Yes, sir. We've got a brand new beer garden.
At Blake Street Tavern, owner Chris Fuselier shows off his COVID beer garden on top of 18,000 square feet of space inside. They're hurting, and he's outraged at the governor's decision. Is he in the wrong?
He's absolutely in the wrong.
Fuselier argues they're vigorous about rules on distancing and masks.
We are more regulated than anybody. We will maintain the distancing.
He says if he stops serving at 10, the night is not over.
And they're going to keep the party going. And then they're going to go to their apartments or their condos. And they're going to drink there. And they're not going to socially distance. And they're not going to be wearing their masks.
Outside Bordeaux in the Highlands, one of his 10 restaurants, Juan Padro is backing the governor's move, knowing rising infection rates are troubling.
He's got reason to be concerned for that, I think.
Still, Padro knows there are other gathering places where young adults may be getting infected.
I think he was really smart to limit it to 30 days and reevaluate. We'll see if it moves the meter a whole lot. I think he's just seeing if it does. I don't even think he knows if it will.
Fuselier notes only about a dozen and a half of Colorado's 400-plus outbreaks are traced to establishments that serve alcohol.
Why are we being picked on? 10 o'clock at night? I mean, we've got to survive, and we are already dying as it is.
Tough move on top of tough times.
If that's the decision he's going to make, then I'm going to get behind it.
Even if it costs you.
Even if it costs me.
All right, so we're going to take a break, hear from Juan when we come back. I have a feel anytime when you're dealing with a news station, you deal with news clips, and they frame you however they want to frame you. I think that there's probably a little reach in that. We'll figure out really where Juan Padro stands when we come back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of ourselves, a newly appointed hospitality specialist, Kalina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bars set up, we've got a lot of time. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Kalina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here, and as I come in here, I'm noticing... Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Tell me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful... Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Back to the show in just a second, and what a show it is. You know what else is great? Bread. And I am a bread lover, and if you're like me, there is nothing better than that smell of fresh baked bread when you open the door to your local bakery. Since 1994, Aspen Baking Company has been making bread. You know what they're not making? They're not making artificial coloring and dyes and chemicals. You want to order direct? They'll do it. You want to order online? They'll do that. Are you an Amazon Fresh person? You can order Amazon Fresh. Boxed lunches, Rome sausage. They're using Rome sausage in their boxed lunches. It's delicious. AspenBaking.com. Since 1994, focaccias, hoagies, bear claws, sourdoughs, batards. We just learned what batards were. Dinner rolls, deli rolls, baguettes, ciabatta scones, anything you need. It's at aspenbaking.com. Hashtag how's your Aspen. Now back to the show.
Thank you, Jay. It's a good one, too, and it's a Friday, July 24th. Summer Dinner Series, we're in full swing. 6 more weeks of Summer Dinner Series and a great lineup. SummerDinnerSeries.com is where you can get your tickets. Yesterday we went to Saguache and Frontier Trout Ranch. Saw Kermit Krantz. Brought back a bunch of trout from that ranch, and it was a great day. We've got some footage. We'll show you that, and Harper Feeders in northern Colorado. And Eaton, Colorado, went and got some lamb, too. It's going to be a great dinner for Jesus Silva. Look forward to that. Resetting here in studio, Mark Berzins, Little Pub Company, and Juan Padro, Culinary Creative. Sonia Riggs on Zoom, Colorado Restaurant Association President and CEO. Welcome back, everybody. Before we broke off, I played that CBS 4 piece, and they kind of just framed, Juan Padro, that you're completely behind the governor and anything that has to do with the 10 p.m. shutoff.
Well, I support the governor. I don't necessarily have to agree with everything that he says to support him, and I think that's probably the point that needs to be clarified. So, first and foremost,
which is a great point, what you said right there.
Yeah, because if I'm the governor, right, and I'm looking at this, the data is definitely there's definitely data that shows a direct correlation between bars opening and increases in COVID in other states. And to Mark's point, Colorado is very different, right? We're not, Florida, and we're not Texas and those types of things. But that really is the only data that you have to go off of, and it's shitty data. Mm-hmm. But if you see a spike, if you go from 70 to 140 to 280 to 500, I would say, you can sit there and let that ride, but if you don't react quick enough, we're shut down. Everybody's shut down. And we're going to start seeing what happens over there. So, from that perspective, I understand his concern and why he's thinking the way he's thinking.
I actually thought restaurants were going to be shut down as of last week. I really did. I thought he was going to follow California's lead, shut it down, and so this I kind of see like he keeps putting out those last pushes of like, don't put me to that. This is going to be before. So shutting down completely would be terrible. But let's make the distinction of how different your businesses are from Mark's business to your business, most of your revenue is coming in before 10 p.m.
Correct.
Mark?
Yeah, we're about 35% after 10 p.m. And those are valuable dollars.
Well, and when you add,
High
you're already
profit
down
dollars.
50, and then being down 50, add another 35% onto that 50, you're down almost 45%, or another. I guess you're only doing 40.
So
45%
Sonia,
of your business.
how do we navigate through those nuances of businesses being so completely different, but labeled a restaurant or bar? How do we navigate what mandates that come down that are so clear all the way across the board, but just the effects are so different in each business?
Well, I mean, there's not much we can do about it,
Zero.
right? We're trying to communicate where we can, and I can verify that the governor's office has very directly said to me that they are trying to they're trying to do this to prevent having to close things down, which I have to say I do appreciate that. My point is that this doesn't just affect bars or what you traditionally call a bar. We certainly appreciate the fact that they're at least letting them stay open if they can serve food and look like a restaurant and make sure that people are seated. I think, what I would have rather have seen is a more strict enforcement for those that are actually blatantly breaking these rules, because when I've been out to eat, I'm seeing people follow the rules. And in fact, we know that before the governor even did the mask mandate, we reached out to restaurants all over the state and who said that their compliance level from customers was 70 to 80% compliance, which we were really, and the governor mentioned that as well, that the compliance was really high prior to even his mask mandate. But that's what we're concerned about, is just what can we do to keep open this industry? And so, we're constantly looking for other ways, and unfortunately, there's just not enough cash being given out right now to help these folks survive without bringing in revenue in some way. And so that's the difficult part here, is what is this industry going to look like in the coming months in all across the industry, whether you're a restaurant or a bar or some sort of a food service establishment. Regardless of what you look like, we know everybody's being affected, and that's just the tragedy here.
Well, so let's just get down to brass tacks and talk about the reality of this. Mark, what does 35% for the next month look for you to take that off the books? What's the reality of that?
Well, I can tell you, and I think every operator is going through this dance right now. We are at the end of our PPP money. We also have 100% rent and occupancy costs essentially having to come back. Our landlords and lenders were good for the last 4 months in cutting rent or abating rent. That's all coming back online. In the case of our company, it's all coming back this month. And so I've been tracking how much am I going to lose by being open versus how much am I losing just being dark. And the reality across my platform, and this is real math, last week I lost $38,000 in 1 week being open. And collectively. And so when I look at my late night, my 10 o'clock on business, that's incrementally very profitable business. And if that goes away, I'll lose about another $20,000 per week. And that's just not sustainable. And so when you get to that point.
But your surplus of money is endless, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and it's your highest margin item, too. I mean,
so the reality is, those of us who own restaurants, in many ways, we are sort of the parents to our staff. They look to us for all these things. We provide health cover. We're Affordable Care Act compliant. We take really good care of our people. The reality is, at some point, I think if this stays, it's going to push us to where it's less. It costs less to close everything, to just go dark, and the cost to reopen is so extraordinary. We probably will go dark until there's some normalcy. And that means we're putting 200 people who came back to us walking away from their unemployment. We're putting them back on unemployment. which is terrible. We're taking away a neighborhood amenity. The playoffs are coming. They're on altitude. There are many, many people around Denver, especially low-income people, that if they're lucky they have Comcast. Comcast does not have altitude. There's a lot of community excitement around our teams being in the playoffs. They're even taking that away. We're going to miss the first round of the playoffs. Heaven forbid a game goes into overtime. But I think the problem with the governor's decision is, perversely, he is going to create an incentive to find the person who's got DirecTV. Everyone go grab your beer, and it's actually could make the problem worse. You're going to have people in poorly ventilated apartments and dens and everything else jammed around the TV watching the Avalanche and Nuggets and the start of football, and it could actually have the opposite effect. And the statewide mask mandate went into place 1 week ago. You want to talk about let's wait 14 days to see what effect that has? I know our outlying stores outside of Denver where you have more anti-maskers. I think that's a game changer. Our employees finally had you put your mask on and you get out. So Broomfield, Centennial, our Compass Point stores are finally coming into what I would call ideal compliance. And anyway, I think it's just not really well thought out, and that's.
I would say he waited too long for the mask thing, though, and that's the issue. He's kind of, you're trying to play catch up right now, right? That mask man, he's a libertarian, let's face it, right? He's pro-NRA, he's, we're going to, pro-rights, all this stuff. But, look, at the end of the day, this mask thing, he held off way too long, and that definitely should have been something that was put in place, weeks ago. And I agree with Mark 100% in terms of the effectiveness of that type of policy. But the question that I have is, because he made that mistake, is it another mistake to wait too long, to do this? And I'd be very surprised if we see a flattening of cases going into the hospital. And by flattening, I mean we had 2 straight weeks of doubling cases, right? That's a fucking problem, right? Pardon my language. Yeah. Right? So, but if it flattens even to 100 cases a week or 200 cases a week, because the problem is when it goes to 500 to 1,000 to 2,000, right? So, but if it gets under control, I bet you he lifts this thing in 2 weeks.
Would you take a guess? The city of Denver Public Health has a COVID tracking site with data.
Yeah.
Has anyone scrolled down and seen the 14-day average of people hospitalized in the city and county of Denver?
That's low.
Take a guess how many people in the city and county of Denver on average over the last 14 days. Does anybody know?
I thought it was between 5 and 10. 2? Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
There are 2 people hospitalized in the city and county of Denver on average over the last 2 weeks. And I'm all about, I actually believe our governor did a great job leading us to where we are today. The reason we didn't become Texas or Florida is because while we were all complaining about being limited to 50% and everything else, he held his ground, and it let us all stay open. So right. I really feel like he's the reason we're all open today. I just disagree with this cutoff point. I don't think it's
You can
smart.
say a lot of things about the governor. One thing you can't say, he's not a dumb man. Obviously he's hearing this feedback, and so
No, but he does not know a lot about our industry.
Okay,
and I think that's something that is clear. And he's smart enough to talk to people. I spoke with him Monday for about 45 minutes on the phone, and he actually came into one of the restaurants on Wednesday, and I had never had a one-on-one conversation with him. We have no relationship other than he just gave me a call out of the blue, and I can tell you, this isn't anything that. Based on my conversation with him, I don't believe this is something he wants to do or wants to keep in place. If he has any inclination that he made the wrong decision, I don't think he's going to be prideful and say, well, we're still going to go through the 30 days. I don't think that that's going to be the case.
Well, that's good news.
But what I do think is that he's genuinely concerned, and I this liquor store thing. I just walked into this. I had no idea that's. stunned me. I mean, the fact that you can go to a liquor store and buy booze until midnight, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
because in your mind you're walking through. Well, what does that mean?
The justification for stopping alcohol at 10, I don't love it. I only agree with parts of it, but I'll support him on that.
But what are you going to do after 10 now?
When you're saying, yeah, you can leave and then go to the liquor store and get a couple 30 racks, like Mark's saying, and then go, And the other thing is, I think they need to buy a little bit of time because July 4th, I don't know about you guys, but everywhere I went July 4th, all I saw was license plates from Texas and Arizona and like all over the mountains and these kids renting these big houses in the mountains and just loading in and doing that stuff. I imagine, a huge reason for the spike that we've had in Colorado is because of that. I tend to agree with Sonia and Mark about, the quality of the work that the bars and the restaurants in general are doing. Every bar, I have yet to go personally into a bar that I have felt super uncomfortable in. There's been a restaurant or two, but I haven't been in a bar, which is ironic that I felt. And I'm a single guy, so I go out almost every night. So I'm out. And I think that the bars, and I expressed that to the governor as well. In particular, in our neighborhood, we have Occidental and Recess, and those guys have been diligent. And I thought that I was pretty impressed by that. And the other point I made to the governor was the fact that Colorado it's a day drinking state too in a lot of ways. What are you going to do? Stop brunch? You go to bottomless mimosas and bottomless rum punches and stuff like that are going on. A lot of people go out and drink from noon to 8. So you're kind of playing with fire a little bit, but I also go back to rule number 1 for me in business is control what you can control. And the reality is he can't control what happens in somebody's house, but he can control what happens in a bar. And and he's a business guy, and and that's a basic business principle. And so I think that we got to be careful what we ask for when we vote business guys into into political positions, because I can see that thought process as well. So I'm excited to give him a week or two to figure this thing out, and I'm hopeful that in a couple of weeks, he didn't say he was going to lift it completely, but he might go to midnight. He said so.
Well,
which I think would be fun.
That too. I can confirm. I had a similar conversation with him where he and I've talked to several of his staff who have also confirmed he doesn't want to do this, and I appreciate that he's that he realizes how difficult this is for this amazing industry and for the public and for frankly sales tax revenue for the cities and state. So I think I just want to confirm that I got that same very direct conversation with he and some of his staff that said that they don't want to close restaurants and bars. So they're trying to avoid that, and I certainly appreciate that at least.
Can counties apply for variances like they can for every other thing, it's seemingly?
They can, except they're postponing any variance allowances for the next 2 weeks. And I did speak to a member of his staff today, too, that said that there are, I think, 15 or so, I think she said counties that are now having to come up with mitigation plans in order to not go backwards because their numbers are starting to go up. I mean, I've spoken to several restaurants in the mountains as well that had a similar concern that they saw a lot of out-of-state people coming in and not following the rules necessarily. So,
and I think that's what Mark was saying. Denver's not the problem. The mountain towns and things like that are a much bigger problem. I can see the 2-week thing too, because August 7th Congress goes into recess, and I think probably the key component of the next package that comes out for me is liability protection for businesses. And if you're seeing a spike in your state too, that's another thing I would look at. You want your businesses protected, and that's going to be a key component to that next bill for sure. I wonder I don't know for a fact, but I wonder if that played a role as well.
Well, Juan, when you guys are talking about people coming in the state, if you listen to the show last week, I believe we had one of our doctors from Boulder on talking about he's concerned because all of a sudden CU's about to be in. And if you look at where CU kids come from, it's Florida, Arizona, Texas, California.
Yeah.
And so to your guys' point, I mean, I love the fact that you guys are united on the fact we waited too long on the mask.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for 2 weeks. Just wear a damn mask.
Right.
Just wear a mask, because I don't know if you've been to bars outside of Denver. We just traveled yesterday down to the San Luis Valley. I'll tell you what, it is different. Once you get outside of Denver, people's mentality is
no doubt.
so different about the mask. Everyone, so I think you guys have such a great sentiment.
We have to trudge this out together, and I think collectively that's why this is so important to get these minds together. Juan, did you?
Yeah, no, I mean, from my perspective, like I said, it's a shitty situation. I don't think anybody wants to be in it. Mark, I'd have to ask you, because I'm not open as late as you are, but if he lifted it to midnight, is that helpful?
I mean, midnight's hugely helpful. I'm mainly worried about the playoffs. The playoffs that are coming up here are so meaningful. I mean, that's as a neighborhood pub, that is right in our wheelhouse. Hey, come down, watch the Avs, watch the Nuggets, and I just really think, if I'm a guy who thinks I'm going to go down and get a seat and watch the game, if I know, hey, the third period is going to start at 10:15 or 10:30, and it could go into overtime, I'm going to find a different solution. I'm going to find somebody who's got DirecTV at their house, and I'm grabbing beer and going there. And so it costs you. So it'll cost us the early sales when the game starts at 8. You're just not going to have those people show up.
Are there more creative ideas that you're looking into to mitigate that loss, such as like buckets of beer on ice before 10, or bottle service, or just getting it out to the customer before 10 o'clock and seeing if it'll last an hour or two?
Well, this sort of goes to the heart of what I started with, which is you could try to game the rules, try to abide by the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. The problem is there's enormous liability in that. We cannot serve visibly intoxicated customers. You can't just send every guy at the table at 9:55 heading off with a six-pack of beers in a bucket. You can't monitor that responsibly and reasonably, and so there's just no way. There's no way to do that.
Very responsible answer and mindset. I mean, truly, that's the right thing to do.
How's that different though than like in the middle of the day at you go into one of these big sports bars downtown and they sell buckets of beer all day?
I mean, you can sell the bucket. It's that everyone is going to say, what if the game goes into overtime? What if we have to be here till 11:30 or 11:45? Then it just.
It's too hard to monitor, too.
And it's causing a whole other set of problems.
And I'm sure, like most everyone in the industry, we're trying to keep a very low-contact process at our stores. We're trying to keep our staff behind the bar, socially distanced, and not have them at the table constantly touching and bussing and creating that.
And monitoring drunk people.
To protect our staff. And so there's just almost no way, there's no good solution to that.
This is all so sticky, and we saw when the prohibition of marijuana and alcohol that one day where they're like, okay, we're shutting it down. And no, the lines came out to, the streets, and people that same day repealed, right? I mean, and the reach of okay, well, we're going to shut down marijuana shops and no longer sell rolling papers because that encourages the use of passing a joint. It's just so bizarre, the kind of mindset of the 20 to 29-year-old addressing that. So now let's go back to the conversation of, okay, if we put this back into the hands of the operators, right, and we actually do police the ones that aren't doing the right things, what are you going to do, send the Keystone Cops out with a fake? How do you police something
you
like
can police that.
How? I'd
agree.
like to know.
The same way you police fake IDs. They go in and do stings all the time.
But what's the repercussions? What's the punishment?
You get closed.
Well, is that true? I mean, I've talked to DA George Brockler about some of these enforcement types of things. There is no enforcement that they're doing on their end.
There's none right now.
We're hearing they're going to step up enforcement.
That's right.
Liquor enforcement has been very direct with us that they're going to be stepping up enforcement. They actually asked us to communicate that to folks, that because of what you guys just talked about, and making sure that people are not being served intoxicated. So we're hearing they're going to be stepping it up.
Now, liquor enforcement, therein lies the rub, because operators don't want to mess with their liquor licenses. When we saw restaurants that went rogue, the underlying theme of those restaurants that went rogue didn't have a liquor license that would be compromised at that point in time. So it's an interesting thing when restaurants become outlawed and bars become outlawed, restaurant owners become outlaws. And it's going to be incredibly interesting to see the positioning of this. So as we wrap up this conversation, I just want to do the crystal ball thing. It's very difficult to do, but Sonia, look into your crystal ball. How's this going to resolve?
We need a vaccine or a cure, obviously. That's the number one thing. I'm at least feeling more encouraged from what I'm starting to hear on the news that they're getting closer and closer to that. Really, that's ultimately going to be it, because as I think Mark said earlier, folks are running out of money. And there's only so long they can last. And when we did a recent survey, just at the 50% capacity or 50-person number, people said that they could only last under those guidelines for a couple of months at the most. I'd say the majority said 3 months is pretty much the max before they start closing permanently. Now that we're seeing even further rollbacks, I'm very nervous for what the industry is going to look like in a few months.
I think we're at the top of the rabbit hole. The spinning has just begun, and Juan and I like to have these conversations, but I think as we look at the nightly news and even the headlines this morning of 150 medical doctors have determined that they think that we should start over again, shut down completely, and do it a different way or a right way, or I don't know. But that mindset is there right now, and along with that has to come some sort of relief.
Yeah, that's their job, that's what a doctor's, it's like a lawyer who gives you advice to do something or not. I mean, that's their job is to be conservative in the advice that they give you. Uh-huh. The reality is there's going to be a balance, right, between economic health and the health of our citizens, which is important and the number one priority. Like I said, Congress goes into recess August 7th, so we're going to start seeing white papers floated out to the public here. You already started seeing some articles about things that could potentially be in additional funding programs. So you'll likely see a double dip into PPP. And I had a call with the Small Business Committee on the national level 2 Fridays ago, and I think we're going to see a long-term low interest debt vehicle that's going to come out for small businesses. There's nothing from small business that's going to come that's restaurant specific at all. I can tell you that.
Well, in an election year, nobody's going to want unhappy voters.
Yeah, we're 100 days away. By the way, 100 days away from an election.
Yeah. So, and then in commerce, the IRC made way more progress than I would have ever imagined. They got the conversation going in there. So, I don't see us getting a big giant grant thing, and if they do, then that's great. But there's going to be something coming out of commerce as well. So there'll be more funding coming in one way, shape, or form or another. Because Sonia, I know the vaccine will probably be here by the end of the year, but the distribution of the vaccine is going to be 6 months, right?
Yeah, and let me just add on to what you're saying is, we just sent out a blueprint for recovery as well with the National Restaurant Association, and I know that they've also worked with IRC on some of the things they're doing at the federal level. But one thing that makes me at least feel comforted slightly is that when we've talked to our U.S. congressmen and senators, they at least get it that this industry is hurting. And I can say this at all levels of law, whether it's local, state, or national, that at least there's an understanding that this industry is important and this industry is hurting. And I'm hopeful that whatever package comes together, and I've heard the same thing, that it's not going to be industry specific, but something that will help this industry would still, that may help others, fine. I know there's a lot of industries that are hurting, but at least get something done that this industry is going to be able to use, because as we all know, the first PPP iteration didn't work very well for this industry. So that's what I'm hopeful of, is that some things are passed, like liability protection and like maybe business interruption insurance help, and additional funding or additional changes to PPP and EIDL that can help this industry survive. I think that's going to be key.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to see changes to I don't understand why they just don't use the EIDL program, other than the fact that Congress is pissed at the SBA. But EIDL is the ideal tool. 30-year note and lower that interest rate to 2% and let it ride and lift the restriction of recapitalization of your business. I mean, that's got to be a priority. I think that would free up a lot of cash for people. But, at the end of the day, that doesn't solve what's happening over the next couple of weeks to Mark and to the guys that, the Sean Kenyons of the world that own bars that are doing the right thing. So hopefully the governor, we see a little bit of a flattening and he lifts that restriction, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until then.
Okay. Can't wait till the days we're debating minimum wage again.
Yeah. Well, but don't you? This is so tough because everyone's in a different spot.
Right? What were we doing last year?
Well, and actually, Aurora's got a $23 an hour minimum wage proposal.
Oh, that'll be great.
Or maybe that may change, I hear. But
I might move to Aurora for that right now. $23 an hour.
Sonia, and listen, to everybody's point, this is why your work is so valuable for this community here, just to be that voice and to just keep fighting and plugging away. Sonia Riggs, Colorado Restaurant Association. Any last words, Dad?
No, thank you so much for having me and bringing this to folks' attention. It's please frequent your restaurant, your local restaurant and bar, however you can, whether you feel comfortable going out and eating outdoors or indoors or ordering in. Just they need help.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sonia Riggs, right there. Mark Berzin, put a ribbon on this for us, if you would.
Well, I listening to Sonia and Juan talk about this, I'm actually pretty bullish. I think we got a lot of smart people working on this, our governor among them. I think there's a lot of things we haven't discovered yet. We've been exploring through a committee I'm on HVAC solutions. There's a lot of filtration systems, ionization systems, things that can knock COVID out of indoor air. I think we got to turn up the heat on our building departments to weigh in and find some cost-effective solutions to make it safer indoors before we hit fall. Mm-hmm. I think that'll help sustain our industry through the dark days ahead. I do think the government has to do something because they can't let all these businesses perish. And I think we're getting better and better at treating this and at testing for it. So we're going to start getting out in front of it. I think I'm actually pretty bullish that by fall we're going to have a combination of strategies that are going to help keep this under control. And maybe I have to believe that to get out of bed every morning. But I really do think I appreciate you guys having this conversation. I think it's important, and you have to hope maybe the governor will tune in and someone will forward him this episode.
Yeah, we'll get him this, huh? Juan, you're absolutely right. Mark is a hell of a guy. Very smart dude. He had all kinds of great stuff to say about you before you came. I thought you were the Wizard of Oz. I didn't even know the man behind the curtain, little pub company. I'd never met you before. This is a pleasure to have you. And actually, next time I catch up with you, I'm a Denverite I grew up in Cherry Creek, 6th and Jackson. Mom still lives in the house I grew up on. College Inn. We used to walk over there and enjoy ourselves. Don's Mixed Drinks. I could do a whole nother interview with you, but I've thought about you a lot during this and your company, Little Pub Company, and it's Colorado brands like this that I have a vested interest in my own heart to make sure that you're still around on the other side of this.
I appreciate that more than you know.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having
Juan
me.
Padro, thank you, too.
You got it, man.
Okay, cool. We're going to break off real quick and come back. We've got more to come, and we're going to talk about Summer Dinner Series and the sourcing. And Sonia, you'll actually join us for the Summer Dinner Series during Dana Rodriguez's dinner. That's going to be a cool one. You'll have a couple of the gals there with you from the Colorado Restaurant Association.
I will. We're really looking forward to it,
and
for sure.
We are looking forward to hosting you as well and showing the world. And that's why Summer Dinner Series is so important to us at the well-appointed, spacious, very, very physically distanced and aware of
outdoor.
How we're doing this, alfresco dining at Downtown Pizza Republica. Thank you to George Eater for donating that space to us. We wouldn't have been able to pull it off, but it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to have some of the best chefs come together and just show not only Denver but Colorado, the country, and the world how you do this. And hopefully people are taking notes because that's how you should do it. All right, we'll break off. We'll come right back. Thank you very much for this conversation. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hi guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding, HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands. Because nobody likes handling taxes. That's rebecca.berry@forth.com, rebecca.berry@forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Yeah, there we go. It's their summer dinner series. I'm a farmer. What's up, everybody? This is Kaibab Savage, co-founder of Savage Spectrum Winery, home of Sparklet, Palisade's newest premier sparkling wine producer, coming to you live from our vineyard. You can see this beautiful vineyard behind us. We're so happy to pair up with the Modern Eaters for the Summer Dinner Series. Check them out online, summerdinnerseries.com to get your tickets. You can come hang out with us. You can try our latest releases of our Sparklets. It's the perfect aperitif to pair with these amazing creations the chefs are going to bring you. Can't wait to see you guys, hang out with you guys, tell you about our story, get to know you better. Hope to see you there.
Man, that was.
I just had to get hyped up. I just had to get, feeling good.
Man, that was a good one. Thank you, Jay. I got to tell you about A-Plus Beverage Solutions right now. A-Plus Beverage Solutions, they are a great family-owned and operated business. When you say A-Plus Beverage Solutions, I'd like you to know who's behind that, and that's Jeff and Kristen Rourke. They've owned and operated that business for over 20 years. They are the leaders and most trusted folks when it comes to installing custom tap lines. If you have a little pub company, right? Perfect content. You got to get your lines cleaned out. You got to add lines. You got to make sure that your beer tastes exactly the way the brewery wanted it to taste. No other changes at all. They can make sure, Larry's distracting me right there. They can make sure that happens. Get a hold of them, because if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
Larry, you're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't be a Larry and pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809, 720-272-3809, and that's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. I'm just going to go wow, what the last hour of programming was right here on the Modern Eater Show. An honor that they trust us with those types of conversations, but to have, right here in our market, these are industry giants with the Little Pub Company and Mark Berzins and Juan Padro with Culinary Creative. Sonia Riggs joins us as well, but that was a good soup.
Didn't you find it impressive how there was some concern, I think, before those two guys sat down? They had a little bit, we thought, different opinions.
Mark wasn't happy with Juan Padro and his positioning, and I think, like he said on the way out, that it was good to hear his perspective in person.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and he even gave it up to Polis because he said, I might be frustrated with him, but in the end, the guy is doing the best that he can. And I
like
think
the dude called him, he was like, I mean, stuff like that goes a long way to where, you may not agree something, but if somebody's got the common courtesy and the respect to reach out to you and be like, listen, man, I know you're not crazy about a decision I made, but I made it. Let's chop it up. Hopefully you could feel better and know it's not coming from a terrible place.
All right, it is 3 p.m. on a Friday. What does that mean? Well, it means Larry Hers, man. And it's kind of weird, but I miss the guy throughout the week now. Larry, what's happening?
I think that's the key. Once a week is perfect for both of us. Then we miss each other. I think every day was getting to be a bit too much. I think absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right.
I'm glad he's just calling it right now.
It's always better, I can promise you.
I love that.
That's my wife.
Yeah, well, this is the angle you chose today, right?
I can't. So
hi, Larry.
It's not good. I know it's not good. I don't know what. It's terrible. I don't know where to go.
It's okay.
At least you cleaned out your nose because we can see right up it, so that's good.
I'm on my cell phone. I don't like to hold it. I don't know what to do.
Larry, you got a lot going on these days, man. Local Biz Buzz, restaurants near me, and What's for Lunch. They're all firing on all cylinders. But I want you to – so this is Larry Hers. For those of you that don't know, I think a lot of you do. If you're tuning into the Modern Eater show, you get a lot of Larry. These three kind of just signature podcasts or shows. I mean, one's a show. Restaurants Near Me is a show. What's for Lunch is
that's a show for sure.
Yeah, Restaurants Near Me is a show. What's for Lunch, that's a daily. So is Local Biz Buzz. But Larry Hers, he is with OCN Eats and OCN Drinks. Talk about these three signature series that you have. Local Biz Buzz to begin with.
Yeah, you know what I think? I don't think they're podcasts. I don't know what the definition of a podcast, but I think they're all shows. Two of them are live. One of them's produced. Local Biz Buzz, we're now probably a month into it. I know we're going to go at least another month because I'm booked for another month. I give food and beverage local companies, have to be local, 5 to 10 minutes to pitch their goods and services. It could be even the beer cleaning company. Today was Denver Chip Company. We've had coffee companies, liquor companies, and that's at 9 o'clock live here in my studio. And it's really taken off, and just giving a platform to people who don't have one. I had people this week, a little Puerto Rican bakery called El Secreto. Did you know you could even there was Puerto Rican bakery in this town? I didn't. And the stuff was great, and to give them 10 minutes of the largest social media reach in Colorado for free, it feels good.
Yeah, and it should, especially local businesses. Supporting local businesses is so near and dear to my heart, and keeping your money here locally, right?
What did I call it the other night? You remember that?
What did you call it?
Money wandering.
Yeah, don't do money wandering.
Don't do money wandering, man.
At all.
That's cute. I like that.
Today, Denver Chip Company, and I've got this queued up on my computer, Larry.
Let me give you a little intro.
Do a setup.
So a year and a half ago, I just started on Instagram, and I see this Denver Chip Company, and I'm like, so I DM them and say, can you send me a sample? I expected they send me one bag. Instead, they sent me a case. I'm like, okay. And they were mind-blowing good. I don't know if you've ever seen them or had them, but the best potato chip I've ever had in my life. And
I have had them, and they are very good.
Yeah, they've been in the studio, Larry. Good people.
Okay, great.
Good people.
And great kids, really great kids. And so I reached out to them and said, wow, that was so nice. You sent me the case. How about I come down and meet you guys? And I went to their facility in Lakewood and hung out with them. And then we wrote a story for OCN, which is our website, Our Community Now, about them. And they were really brilliant. They were 1 month old at that point.
Could you at least make eye contact with us?
What's that?
Could you at least make eye contact with us when you're talking?
Now they're in Every King Supers. I can't see you guys. Oh, maybe
well, that's a problem. Hey, Larry, can you do this? Can you just readjust your camera to make it worse? Each time you do it, it gets worse. So I appreciate that. No, I'm just busting you up. You're fine. You're fine.
Just look in that camera, Larry. I like to look deep into your eyes when you're talking.
You're stuck.
There we go.
Do I got any boobies?
It's clean,
you're
babe.
good.
It's clean.
You're good. Yeah.
No bats in the cave. All right, good. Yeah, so I went to my normal room and people were in it. So I panicked and now I don't know where to go. They were using my room.
I panicked.
All right. So anyway, nice kids, great product.
He's on the toilet.
And now they're huge. I mean, they're in every King Soopers and they're talking with Safeway now. And they produce to of potato chips now. Just
what's your favorite flavor, Larry?
Well, they only make the plain and the sweet and spicy, and I like the sweet and spicy better.
Whose spuds are they using? They using Colorado spuds?
No, those are Idaho russets.
Yeah.
But you know,
like
we
a tractor trailer.
We grow some
pretty good
russets.
We do grow russets.
Yeah,
we should turn them out.
Yeah, but you can't.
The volume.
I'm not going to get into this debate, but I'm pretty sure Idaho's the place for potatoes. I've heard. You know.
Oh, you're killing me! Just stick
Larry.
a knife in me, Larry. For God's sake!
Oh, you're not
25
you're
years
not that
I worked
connected to
it.
potatoes, though.
Bro, that's how I started growers. Was 2 potato farmers. Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
say,
don't be so melodramatic, but all right. Now Brian hates you, Larry. You want to watch these videos?
No, I love you, Larry. I love you. I'll teach you about Colorado.
Fine.
No, it's a good conversation.
Should I play this video?
I'm ready.
Is Larry ready?
Larry, you ready?
You ready, Larry?
Jay, how do I from my phone? How do I see them? I can only see you. And
go to Instagram and you want to type 4 words at least because that's what they like to see. Are you on your phone? So you got to swipe right and hit gallery. If you hit gallery,
there you go.
yeah,
Good enough.
Yeah, see, look at that.
Yeah, you're used to swiping right, aren't you?
How do you know that reference,
I don't even
Larry?
get what that means.
It's a Tinder thing.
It's a
Oh,
it's a
man.
dating thing.
Come on, listen. We don't have enough time for that conversation. Why don't you set up what we're about to watch, Larry?
Denver Chip Company. Great chips, great kids.
Good morning, Colorado. Welcome to a Friday edition of Local Biz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hers. Today in studio, I got my boys, Dylan and Connor from Denver Chip Co. Welcome, boys.
Thank you for having us.
Quick little story on them. About the first people I met when I started doing this. So it was about 1.5 years ago. I saw a picture of these chips on Instagram, and I DM'd them and said, can I get a sample? And instead of sending me a bag, which is what I was expecting, they sent me a case. They were so freaking good, and they were so nice to send me a whole case. I'm like, well, let me come out.
He wants another case.
And meet you guys. So
They
I
brought a
drove
couple
out
of
to their
cases
store, to their production facility.
That's what we call it. I would actually call it the chippery.
The chippery. I like that even better. Out in Lakewood.
Yeah,
And
we'll
Matt-
find it in Webster's dictionary.
Well, maybe we will next year. And I drove out to Lakewood, met them. They just started basically, and we became friends since then. And now tell us the story, the history of Denver Chipco. Who's going to?
It's a tough space to be in.
Really tough. I mean,
You know?
they've got a great product, and I'll tell you, people are nice to local products. So I think I've bought their chips many, many times, actually. And they're not the least expensive chip on the thing, but they do such a great job.
What do they retail for? I do remember getting – okay, now it's all coming back to me. I remember getting some of these chips in studio. I liked them so much that I was actually going to look at them at the grocery store. Saw them at the grocery store. I think Whole Foods or Natural Grocers, one of the two.
Kings. They're at Kings.
Was it
For
Kings?
sure, yeah.
Well, they were at Whole Foods first.
Whole Foods first? I thought the
Yeah.
price point was up there in the $7.99s. I don't know, though.
I think it was $6 at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
But it's not a big bag. It's not your regular bag.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going
Well,
for.
I remember it being out of what I wanted to pay.
Well, but at King Soopers, I'll tell you, they're way more competitively priced. I want
Are
to
they?
say somewhere
You gotta
in
get that
$4
right.
range,
You
I want to think, at
you
King
got to
Soopers.
price them to move.
Yeah.
For sure. But, tough space. The food market's a tough space because you can just get crushed by somebody that just likes what you do, emulate it, put it out there.
But look at these guys. They're going against people like Frito-Lay, who own half of that aisle.
Okay,
I mean,
so let me ask you a question. When it comes to price and the quality of chip, and Freeman, this will be for you because I don't know if Larry or ingredient-wise, like, is this chip a lot better as far as preservatives and
You
the,
got a
and-
bag there
and the
near you,
junk
Larry?
and the
none
junk
of
they
that
put
stuff.
in?
Yeah, none. They are like
10 feet away, I can run and get it.
Go
and
grab
I
a
can show
bag.
you the chip.
Yeah, go grab the bag. Thanks.
Yeah, we want to see the label, but yeah, there's. I believe, Jay, to your point, this is like a potato chip is supposed to be. You know, it's a potato, it's
Yeah,
oil
I mean,
and salt.
I know, but
and
are
oil.
they going to cut down on the quality of ingredients? Or let's see if they
Because,
have quality.
because here's my thing. It's like I don't have a problem spending that much money on this kind of food because I don't want, like, let's say somebody could be like, I can get 4 bags of Lay's for the price of this. It's like, I don't want 4 bags of Lay's in
There
my
we go.
house.
There we go. Of course they're open.
And that's the salty, spicy, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or sweet and spicy, yeah.
Let's
And so that's their dog, Zeus, on the label there. And they say it's 4 portions in a bag. I don't know about that. But so the thing about it is it's thick. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's like a home cut.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Did he say something about ingredients?
No, Larry, what's the ingredients on the back?
Yeah,
end?
if it's
so
enriched.
there's no preservatives. So once
Wait.
you open them, you gotta eat them in like a
Okay.
day or 2.
Is it going to start out with enriched flour?
No, it's russet. It's 4 ingredients.
Oh, good.
Here we go.
Russet potatoes, canola oil, garlic, onion, spices, sugar, salt.
See, now, if we could just get them to use Colorado potatoes and then Colorado Mills sunflower oil.
I mean, here's the thing to where it's like, I'm not saying use all Colorado
No,
potatoes.
I'm not either.
But a conversation of where they offer a Colorado potato
Well, if
chip,
you put Denver, you're going off of people that like local. Or if you put Denver Chip Company on there, you're trying to be local.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're actually from, I don't know if you heard their story, they're from Indiana, where their dad has a potato chip company, the same exact kind of chip. And their dad's been around, like, in business for like 20 years. And this year they're going to beat their dad in sales.
Oh, that's cool.
So he bankrolled them to open in Denver, and then
He
now
did
they're
bankroll, yep.
Of course he did, and
Well,
then now they're going
he
to
owned-
they're going to surpass him, which he's like, do it, triple my sales.
Well, they probably have okay, we'll ask Larry because he audits everybody's online presence. How's their online presence, Larry?
Not good.
Not good?
And they know it. They know they don't have time. These guys, it's just the 2 of them. Although they finally have some part-time. They bake. They do everything themselves.
Man, listen,
Well,
you know as
they
well
work-
as I do that's a lie, because if I tried to use that lie, and even when I was working 2 jobs and everything else, man, I mean, I don't know.
Well, they need them some Larry Hers, it sounds like.
They don't need any help.
Really?
Well, maybe that's why
No.
maybe that's why their online presence sucks, is because they're like,
Well,
you
they're
know,
too busy, but
I don't need it.
They don't need it.
Yeah.
The difference, though, Larry, I would say this
It's a
goes
great
to
problem.
a testament to Colorado and how much we support local. Because
That's what they said.
Yeah, I would bet anything that the reason they're kicking their dad's butt is because it's in Indiana. We're in a place.
2 reasons. 2 reasons.
Okay, let's hear it.
So in their dad's business is mainly in like bars and restaurants, and obviously that's a problem. And they're 90% in grocery stores, only 10% in restaurants here. But they also did say that absolutely people in Colorado are more into local than they are in Indiana.
Well, what, is the other one called like a Hoosier chip or something like that?
I can never remember the name of it, but it's not a Hoosier chip. It's a weird name, like something river or lake. Watch the episode and you'll know. They mention their dads.
God, I'm just glad that there's not another Boulder name on something.
Yeah. Well, and it's sad because I sort of felt that Boulder Chip Company sort of slipped. But, yeah, it's just personal opinion. I think these guys are, Larry, to your point, they're doing a killer job.
Let's watch just a little bit more
Yeah.
of these 2 cats.
Better in tune
We're a
with
better chip market
Yeah,
in
we
Indiana.
really are. It's almost double the population on top of the local feed that we have here. Colorado has a community that is unlike Indiana. Truly, I think that is something that sets it apart. Is just because of people here look for local foods.
That's just said it from the boys. Can you hear that when we play that, Larry? Can you hear that?
Yeah, hear it great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Local biz buzz. You can get all of these either on YouTube or the Facebook OCN Eats Facebook or their YouTube. I say just go to their YouTube because you can get alerts set up every morning. Larry, I'm embarrassed to say this, but usually I'm not even getting going. Once you got this local biz buzz going, it's still morning time for me. I watch it in the morning. I wake up with Larry. It's terrifying.
So a typical
Those
day.
aren't pillows.
I do my first post on OCN Eats Instagram at 8. Do the show at 9. Then another show at 11:30. That show gets posted to the Instagram. And then on Wednesdays, then I do restaurants near me. So that's 5 restaurants in 5 hours. So that's 7 restaurants in one day on Wednesdays. Don't try and do that.
Okay, what's for lunch? I've got this queued up. And
let me set that up.
Yeah, let's set this up. But today I watched, and it was you did Biker Jim's Gourmet Hot Dogs, and and you had a dude named James in there, right? Jerry in there.
So I sent you a different clip.
No, I know you did. I just wanted to comment on today's, if you don't mind, and then you can.
Not that Jerry was great, and Biker Jim's the hot dogs were fantastic.
I could tell Jerry was driving you nuts, man, because he was. He was.
You're completely wrong.
Really? I
I
thought he was
vibe.
too slow for the uptake on what he's kind of like Jay Parker in setting something up to where he goes around everything.
Where it's really entertaining.
Well, no, I actually want to play a little bit of it, and maybe we will if we have time. But this one right here, well, I will. Let me find this one. I want to play this one of.
Well, last night Jim calls me and says
he's out of town.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, he's like, I got to leave. I got to go to Tucson, or I'm in Tucson. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Real quick shout out to the stream. Oh, sorry to cut you off, man. That was completely rude. I thought I had a gap in there. Go ahead. Now it's awkward.
But then he's like, but I'll send you Jerry. Jerry's great. And I really like Jerry, actually. I thought he was awesome.
Shout out to the stream, Nadine. Something about Moose Prince. I can't say her last name, but Nadine from Untitled Spirits. Stephen Gould. He wanted to chime into that conversation with Juan and Mark, but there just wasn't a gap, room for it. Rebecca Berry, hello. Luke Larson from Centennial Cuts says, what's up? Michael, I don't know how to say his name. He was a regular at Gibby's, actually. Boston Mike. What's up, Boston Mike? Jason McGovern, our boy from Crush Pizza. And then Brian.
It was his birthday this week.
Brian Freeman. Happy birthday, Jason McGovern.
Yeah,
go get yourself a slice.
Mr. Fritze is out there as well watching us.
Who?
And Andrea from Frise. Is watching
I filmed him this week.
What's up, Chef?
Yep.
Kermit Krantz is watching for Frontier Trout Ranch.
What's up, Kermit, man? Good seeing you yesterday.
We just
all right, here's today's What's for Lunch with Biker Jim's Gourmet Dogs. I thought this was just funnier than hell. But maybe that's just me.
Got to hit play on it.
I did. It's just, the logo is.
It's a computer.
It's just there. Slow on the uptake here. Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah, he has too long a lead in some days.
Okay, Jay, put it up.
You're up, baby. That's not me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it just doesn't want to play it, though. Mm-hmm. Audio's up. My audio's up. Unless, yeah, it says muted on this one. Let me unmute it. Unmute this.
When did you start?
Okay, here we go. I thought that this was going to drive you crazy. This would have driven me crazy a little bit. Trying to set this thing up, and it's just slow. Let's see. Let's see. Whole thing's slow. Shh. Yeah, quiet. Everybody get ready.
Everybody be quiet.
Here it goes.
Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to a Friday edition of What's for Lunch. I'm your host, Larry Hers. We made it through another week, and we are going to reward ourselves with some...
So literally, when I saw this, Larry, it was more, so I'm just getting up, I'm squinting, I'm looking, I'm like, did Biker Jim dye his hair? who? And then I'm like, is this Tommy Lee? You know, does Tommy Lee work for Biker Jim? And then I don't think I've ever met Jerry, but here's
Jared, right?
Jerry.
He's been with him a long time.
Yeah.
Biker Jim's. We got Jerry here from Biker Jim's Hot Dogs. Welcome, buddy.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about your history with Biker Jim.
Yeah,
when did you start?
I have been doing it for just shy of 9 years now.
Okay.
When
that's just 9 years.
Let's see. I started in 2011. I picked up a gig. We were just doing 16th Street Mall. Then I transferred to our MSU CART campus.
Yes, he is a little slow.
Did that. I'm still currently doing that. Allegedly. so long as school happens this year. Now we do catering. We've got the restaurant. It's kind of all over the place.
So the restaurant is where?
Right on 22nd and Larimer, Ballpark neighborhood. 2147 Larimer. We're open for dine-in, open for takeout, open for delivery.
And are you open 7 days?
We are currently closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
So Jerry's in his own speed.
You got to feel a little bit bad for him, though, because I'll tell you, he looked very uncomfortable at the beginning of the.
I don't
did
think
you know?
he did.
Oh, you didn't.
No,
I sort of thought
think
he was.
Jerry's just got at his own speed. You know, I mean, I think Jerry he likes dogs and talking, and it's a good time. How are the dogs? They're delicious as always, right?
Oh, hell. So good. That jalapeno cheddar elk dog.
Uh-huh.
Did you get the reindeer one?
No, I think I had a rattlesnake one, and I don't remember what else.
Yeah, biker Jim says his favorite one. If there was one food that he'd eat forever, it'd just be that the reindeer dog.
The reindeer dog.
Yeah.
Okay. What's for lunch? Here's the one that you wanted to set up. It's Slater's 50-50.
Have you been hearing? Well, you hear about it from Rebecca, right?
I have heard a little bit, but I'd love to have you set this up and learn more.
So that was he opened Monday, and Scott Slater. This is his 13th location. This one's a franchise. He's out of California, and his concept is 50% ground beef, 50% bacon, using Colorado beef. All right, there, Bri.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And he's a weird location on like 38th and Blake, like the far end of Rhino.
Now, you're a location dude. You'll call it out right away, man. Is this location going to be something that they can thrive at?
What? I didn't hear you. You must have broken up there.
All right. It's good enough.
But this dude is, I mean, we really hit it off. I like him a lot, and we had a great time. Started right from the beginning. Bottom line is he does over-the-top burgers with bacon, and I don't know if we'll get to the point, but at some point he gives me a burger with peanut butter and jelly and vanilla ice cream on it.
Oh, what? Say what?
Yeah. Are you down with that, Jay?
Yeah. I mean, I am, right? But it's like I'm just not too impressed with these novelty creations that people come up. I mean, they're delicious. It's like it's like putting stuffing macaroni and cheese inside of pastrami and then wrapping it in bacon and putting it and then deep frying it and putting ice cream on.
Nothing like that.
Well,
it's a little bit.
But it is though because like peanut butter and jelly goes really good with meat and it goes really good with ice cream and stuff. So I'm not saying it's not delicious. I'm just somebody that's not too impressed.
Do you
by
like
that
an egg on
because
your
you're just piling cholesterol on top of cholesterol. Of course, it's going to be delicious. That's how I look at those things. Not to say that I wouldn't eat them and love them and enjoy them, but it's not like that creation. I would go like, well, wow, this guy really knows something. You know what I mean? Like that's like, I mean that's
confusing
just
to me. Is it a lunch? Is it a dessert? Where does
no,
it go?
I mean I don't care
Is it
about
lunch,
that. I'm
dessert?
the biggest glutton on earth,
All right,
man.
play the clip.
Thank you. Yeah, shut up, Jay.
Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to a bonus episode of What's for Lunch.
Bonus.
I'm your host, Larry Hers. Today I have the honor of having Slater's 50-50.
Those salads look bomb.
I don't know. I don't eat salads.
Oh, God.
In studio.
I don't drink
Hey,
coffee.
Hey, wait a second.
I was going to cheers the audience.
I was going to cheers you.
Dude, that looks good.
Scott Slater in the house.
Cheers, Larry.
Pleasure to meet you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Dry dock, huh?
Not bad, huh?
That was a great recommendation.
It's the only beer he has in his fridge. It's not a recommendation.
No. But I have 10 different flavors of Dry Dock, and I told him the apricot sour. It's awesome.
Okay, it is awesome beer.
So ordinarily, 11:30 is the show. But when I heard Scott Slater was in town and his restaurant opened in Rhino yesterday, I'm like, if he's willing to come on, I'll make room for him and have 2 lunches today. So now you know why.
Well,
look at what he brought.
It's a little more than 2 lunches. This is going to be your second lunch, third lunch.
I share.
Early
share.
dinner.
Give us a history of Slater's 50-50.
Yeah, so Slater's 50-50, we just opened up in Rhino yesterday.
So just fast forward. Maybe you can find the. It's like midway through with that burger.
Yeah, drugs. He's on drugs. That's what you would put
right
on
there.
there.
It is drugs.
Yeah, right there.
That's it. The drugs.
No, go forward.
Let's go on the opposite spectrum.
Forward, right there,
Let's go to
right
peanut
there.
butter and jealousy. So
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't know. I know. Oh, Josh is raising his hands. This you're into.
Peanut butter and jealousy.
It's
That
my
sounds
favorite. We had a
delicious.
kid in 2010, I think.
I'm
back
going
in
to get
Anaheim,
that.
And we had a design it menu, and he put peanut butter and
FJ.
jelly on his burger. And we just put it on there.
I'm not
because
saying I
kids
wouldn't
need
eat
to
it
try to
and
make
love
purchase,
it.
But the kid loved it. We took a bite in the back. Well, before you close that up, too, we do one little special thing. So first, peanut butter, jelly, bacon, on a ground beef burger. We're using locally sourced Denver ground beef, which I had no idea was so spectacular.
I want to ask
who's
you.
you're using?
Where?
Yeah, where?
Yeah.
We'll edit it in later.
Edit it in later because we do know who it is. It's on the menu, but we also like to do a little a la mode on the peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, Josh?
Yes. Yes, Larry, yes.
Yeah, what's the flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Oh, so
God,
that's what
that's
vanilla. It's obvious.
Yeah,
That's enough to give
That's
me an
what you would put on
organism.
Peter jelly. And
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going there
jelly
with that.
burger. You put vanilla.
Dairy
Dairy
on-
on-
What do you-
I like
Oh, the
No,
dairy.
there's
Could be
none,
anything,
there's
right?
none that to me works. I'm gonna try it just
You
because
should.
it's impossible. It can't work.
Do it, Larry.
You know, you go to a restaurant sometimes and you see those things on the menu where you're like,
It's melting,
why would I
Larry.
order something like that. It just makes no sense. But the chef
Of course
has
it
something in
melts.
mind
Do
when
it,
they
Larry.
put those things
Yeah,
together.
drugs.
And
It's on drugs.
I didn't say it wasn't, but it's. But I will tell you that combination with the savory.
God,
I'm
I'd
gonna
eat
have a
two
bite
of
of it right
those
now.
and then
Usually
just
I wait till the
crawl
end,
into the
please. I don't think
closet
this
and
thing's
cry
gonna
for
make
Well,
it.
first of all, no human being could eat all of that.
I commend
Oh,
you
I
for
could-
this.
And look at that mess. Yeah, take a date to do that. First date. That was the sexiest thing you've ever done, Larry.
That's the face. That's the face every time.
That's impossible.
How, Larry?
Be right back.
Yeah.
How was it, dude?
I mean, it's good, but I would never order it again. His
No.
regular burger was fantastic. I eat that a little later. His signature burger is, of course, got bacon on it, and then an over easy egg and like a chipotle sauce, I think. And that's fantastic.
I mean, that's
But
you
no,
know,
I'm not
that's
ordering
one,
a
that's
burger.
one of those novelty things to where it's like it's too messy to eat. It's not, you know, it's difficult.
Makes
this and
those
that.
Cobb-
It's novelty, you know. Which,
Makes those Cobb salads just look obsolete. Just
Now you know why I didn't eat the Cobb salad. It was a burrata salad and a quinoa salad. Anyway, the restaurant's open. It's great. Another restaurant I hit this week, Richard Sandoval opened Toro in
you
the
didn't
JW
go
Marriott.
without me. Okay, I'm not letting you talk about it. You didn't go. You went without me, didn't you, Larry? You're in my neighborhood. You're probably 4 blocks away from
I
me.
told you I was going.
You couldn't call me just to remind me at all. Couldn't do it. All right, tell us. about it.
I might have had a better offer.
Really? What was her name?
You know what her name was.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm leaving you in a few minutes to go see her.
Whatever,
that's another
dude.
good story.
Whatever.
How
was it?
Anyway, Toro's gorgeous. Had some great food.
Did they
Well,
change
oddly
the
enough-
dining room? You know, Second Home, that's what was in there before. I thought Second Home was pretty visually appealing inside of there. They had that big wall display in the back. It escapes me really what it was, but I remember.
What, now are you talking
the
back by the
lighting,
bar
it
or
just
back
changed
in that
lighting.
far dining
yeah,
room?
far dining room.
Yeah,
It was
where it's
striking.
just like wood slats, remember? And it
Yeah.
sort of created like this fake-looking
Yeah.
wall.
How's it look in there?
I don't recognize it from Second Home at all. To me, it's completely different. I think Second Home had the fire pit, so maybe that's still they left. But the bar's different. The dining room's different.
So wide
Richard
open
was there.
doors to the fire pit too. You could.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Did
Yes.
they have any seating outside? I know they used to put a tent over the back there for weddings and stuff like that. Did they open up that area to?
Yeah, there was seating all around the fire pit. Big patio around the fire pit. 2 patios. One's for dining. One's for like a lounge.
How was the food?
Menu? What's interesting is the food's great, but they call it. I'm not sure what the concept is. They called it Pan Latin.
So like Zengo
kind of
then, huh? Like Zengo.
But then Becca had a 12-ounce bison strip steak, and it had
Of
chimichurri.
course, she orders the most expensive thing on the menu. Although Larry, I'm sure Larry didn't buy, but then I'm sure Larry wouldn't pay for anything too. So everything was for free, huh? Did they flip your bill?
Well, you're breaking up again.
Damn it!
So I had a lobster quesadilla.
Side of ranch, 75 cents. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that's right.
What else?
Did you tip? Did you tip though?
Hey, 20% of zero is zero.
Okay, so here's what happened, right?
Uh-huh.
So they even take care of the tip, which I'm like, are you kidding? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So even with them taking care of the tip, I threw down $20 anyway.
Good for you.
Yeah.
How much did you drink?
Extra 20. The drink was really, that might be the best part. This thing was called a Mercado Margarita.
Ooh.
And it had this
Sounds
I'm
good
sure
already.
they use egg whites to get this float on top.
Oh.
And it's got 2 different colors. It's like on top is like orange and the bottom is kind of pinkish. It was, and it had some spice to it. I want to say habanero, but might have been serrano. But just the perfect amount of heat. That drink was a 10. And I had 2 of them. But that's it.
I'm going to go in and try that place.
I want to watch a clip because I got a real big industry question.
no clip
for
of
Larry.
This is Lone Tree, yeah.
Oh, this is okay, Larry. Then let me ask him a big industry question because I was a little disappointed. We went to a restaurant yesterday, and I was really thinking that that this COVID would have weeded out some of if you've been listening to my narrative since it started.
But we didn't have a good enough lens or body of work with that restaurant to say one way or another. We got an appetizer that was the
worst,
a lobster queso,
queso.
And it wasn't warm.
That doesn't work.
It wasn't warm. I mean, it wasn't bad once they microwaved it after that. And
the chips were stale, but it was just all right.
And we had a couple of drinks, but I'm not so sure that our body of work was there to give
big
a
enough.
fair. Yeah, we didn't have an entree or anything else.
Sure. I know. I'm quick to judge.
Could have been. I mean, could have just been a random something.
Yeah.
Well, except at the table right next to us, they dropped this lobster queso at both tables. Mm-hmm. Both tables. The cheese
and I'm not
was
so
like
sure that we didn't get their queso next to that because they came out with both of them back, and there was no distinction of we were dipping in ours. So
man, that's why it's really like who you get in the kitchen on a certain thing, and working in restaurants as long as I have, it's like even if the food is like just sports bar stuff, burgers, fries, wings, right? Can't mess it up. That type of thing, man. One guy that just knows how to follow a recipe card. Where it's like, here's how you cook a cheeseburger, here's how you cook the fries.
Heat should be basic.
Could be hell and gone different from somebody else that comes in and has no.
So let
idea.
me ask. Then I'll take out yesterday. Do you think, Larry, that this COVID is really going to push all the shitty restaurants out, or do you think that there's still an opportunity for bad food once we get through?
No. This will definitely be thinning of the herd. Survival of the fittest, absolutely. The ones the hangers on are not going to hang on.
Yeah, but bad food survives. Come on. Let's face it. All right, Larry, do the setup. This is.
Yeah, I actually got a lot more things to talk about. We're running out of time.
Season 1 episode. I'm not running out of time, dude. If you are, that's your own thing. So
restaurants near me, we keep killing it. Next week, Wash Park's coming out on Tuesday. This week was Lone Tree, my neighborhood. Doesn't need any setup. It's phenomenal. These guys, as you know, Shane and Martin.
Let us judge that, all right? Let us.
I'm not good, but these guys, the cinematography, you know that.
On this week's episode of Restaurants Near Me, we're in Lone Tree, my hometown. I'm going to show you all my regular places. Let's eat.
Like how they say former restaurant.
We're at Park Meadows Mall visiting my buddy Jason Ganal at his place GQ Barbecue. He opened up his first one in Westminster a few years ago. Now he's got this one here right behind my house. We had no barbecue here in Lone Tree before he got here. He has saved my life. He's got amazing brisket, pulled pork, and wings. And my go-to, the Meltdown. You got onion rings, you got this brisket, the brioche bun, the cheese sauce is to die for.
Oh, God.
Dude, the wings are amazing today.
Larry, that was good, man. That cheese.
You can't rehearse that. That just happened.
The dangling cheese.
Not only that was the onion.
That was onion?
Onion, yeah.
From the onion ring.
So has an ice cream shop right in here. Ice cream farm. The best part is my daughter works here. That little banana pudding milkshake here really cleanses the palate after barbecue. It's a great combination. Oh yeah, so good. So in case you don't know, my first restaurant was an Italian restaurant, Carmine's on Penn. Kind of an expert on Italian food, being a New Yorker as well. This is where I go for my Italian food. You want some chicken parm, you want some lasagna, garlic knots, come to Cornelli's. Lucinda and Jimmy are the owners here. They do everything right. They're here working. Jimmy's cooking, Lucinda's working in the dining room. Get yourself to Cornelli's.
This is the shrimp Diablo.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
So shrimp fra diavolo, classic Italian dish. Fra diavolo means from the devil. So it should be a little bit of a spicy marinara. Got some spinach in here. Looks delightful.
That looks bomb AF.
Oh, my God.
It did look really good.
That looks bomb, Larry.
cooked perfectly, got just the right amount of heat. If you're worried about spice, this is fine. You could order it not spicy as well, but I think you'll be fine with it. It's probably about a 7 on the spice level.
All right. Watch it yourself.
All right.
So that's
So-
season 1, episode 10. Restaurants near me. You can find it on YouTube.
YouTube.
And
OCN videos, our community now videos.
yeah, go ahead, Larry.
A couple, let's see, where do I want to go next? So next week is National Wing Day. Do you know that? You don't know that. Why would you know that? Only a dork like me would know that. So next Wednesday's
Are you
National Wing
holding
Day.
this conversation with yourself because of time? Because actually, we do look at a food calendar, Larry.
Greg was very in touch with National Hot Dog Day.
That's right, in a lot of ways.
Hey now. So obviously I like wings. Everybody likes wings. But this has got nothing to do with me. Uber Eats, which, I'm not a fan of, but they got this thing going on. Did you hear about this?
I'm hearing only Go ahead. No, I haven't.
Okay, so what they've done is they have all these celebrities, and I kind of found out who these celebrities are. And I thought it would be like C and D list celebrities making up a wing recipe, and then they're giving that recipe to local restaurants in 10 different cities. Denver's one of the cities. I'm not going to name them all, but bottom line is Denver's one of them. And they asked me, what wing places should we sign up for this? And they have to take Uber Eats as part of the deal. So either they previously worked with them or work with them now. Bottom line is, here's some of the celebrities: Shaq, Snoop Dogg, Tyra Banks, Jesse Decker, still whatever. And who else did I hear? Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia, local Denver restaurant, local celebrity, lives here in the Highlands. And so they've all developed a recipe. I've heard one of them is like a maple sriracha. And so that wing sauce will be in one of these 10 restaurants, and then it'll also be in 10 cities around the country. And they're going to run that starting, I think, Wednesday for 3 days. Kind of an interesting, different, thing. And Uber Eats is, promoting it and spending all the money.
I got a wing challenge I want to throw down. I think I make some pretty bomb wings,
What's your sauce?
Yeah, well, none of your beeswax, but come on, McGovern.
Yeah,
come
I
on,
think
Ganal.
McGovern makes some of the best.
I'm gonna go. I'm
wings
calling
I've
these
had.
fellas out right now.
What's your sauce? None of your beeswax.
And it's a rub, just so you know. It's a dry rub.
All right, one more quick story.
Huh?
Ready? Ready for another story?
Wait, hold on. Jay's trying to talk to me. What are you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that's my channel.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
All right. So yesterday I saw Sugar Sisters posted a new cookie. It's called the Bam Bam, and it's got Fruity Pebbles in it. Great, cute, whatever. And I'm big fans of Sugar Sisters. And so I don't know if you know Todd Davis, who plays for the Broncos. Have you heard of him?
I have not.
Anyway, he's been on the team 7 years. He's middle linebacker. He's a super good dude.
Okay.
He lives in my neighborhood, and I think we talked about him before. But anyway, his nickname is Bam Bam. So I send him a picture of these cookies. He's like, dude, I need those cookies. So I'm leaving in like a minute to go bring Becca over to Todd's house so Bam Bam can eat the Bam Bam cookies. And I was trying to figure out how to do this on your show, but it hasn't worked out quite yet. So if I get there and Todd's down with it, can I dial back in? Will you guys still be going in like 20 minutes?
Dude, we'll leave the lights on for you just to see if we can. All right, just the possibility of it will continue.
All right, so I'm gonna drive over to Todd's house right now. It's about 10 minutes from my office, and see if we can maybe go live with Bam Bam eating Bam Bam cookies from Sugar Sisters.
If anybody can get it done, it's you. You've got the Zoom link on your phone. Just pop back in, and we'll take you. In the meantime,
and then Greg, for you, I'll give you a tour of his bathroom.
Awesome! I love tours of bathrooms.
You know why I said that?
No, I don't.
Oh, we all know.
No,
From Sierra. You made me go in the bathroom at Sierra.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. I'm slow to the uptake. Larry, take off now. Please be safe. Don't hurry over there. We'll be here, and we'll wait for Larry Hurst.
We'll see if we can get it done. Later, boys.
Later, Larry. Thank you for doing this. I've got a great question for you, though, Greg.
Yeah.
There's a very famous chef in town who, in their pastries, they were putting in things like this, Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Puffs and stuff like that, Lucky Charms and stuff like that. And I really personally have a weird aversion to that. Do you think that it is, I don't know, it's appropriate's not the right word. Do you think it's a show of talent when someone takes something like a box cereal and puts it inside?
So it's terrible to answer questions with questions, but I'm going to. So do you think it's terrible that the Dairy Queen Blizzard has all kinds of
Oreos
different
and all that stuff in
candies in there and mixed up for people's enjoyment because they love those things?
Well, I guess when you get a mature palate, or I feel this way, but when you get a mature palate, Dairy Queen isn't really even in the running anymore.
Ben and Jerry's.
I mean, short of just trying,
Sure,
just.
I guess I see where you're
ice
going
cream.
with that. Yeah, I see where you're going.
It's novelty, man. It's just
Well,
like the
that's
ice cream on the
people
burger.
like
but
the-
it's delicious. Well, yeah. I mean, listen. I'm not knocking it. I know where you're coming from. It's like, well, would you be a pastry chef and if you put Fruity Pebbles inside your thing? It's like, well, that's a gray area question because the foundation could be delicious and what you add just adds a little bell and whistle to somebody just goes, oh wow, that reminds me of being a kid, and it's far out. So it may not be like the most culinary advanced thing, but business wise, it could be super genius.
Okay,
That's great. All right, we're gonna break off here real quick, and when we come back, that's the road to Saguache. Yep, right there. Headed down. And
I have that video of our Harper feeder thing too that I can play just so.
Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to look at some killer drone footage. Jay.
Yeah, well,
of course.
No,
I'll
actually,
be the
Jay,
judge
this
of
is
that.
truly what he did yesterday.
Freeman did give you props. He said today, when he
Some
came
good
in or
drone
whatever,
footage.
he was like, actually, dude, he did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
All right, you guys, stick around. We'll come right back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. Our all-new Abbey 4-pack contains the main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So with the 4-pack, you'll get a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple, one of each. Most monastery breweries will make 2 to 4 of these. Some of them make all 4. And American craft breweries like Brews that specialize in Belgian beers will make multiple versions of the Big 4 throughout the year. So where can you get an Abbey 4-pack? Well, you can get it at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos in Midtown, or in the East Colfax neighborhood at Colfax and York. You can also find them at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver area. So get yours today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridian Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coupe Vodka and Coupe Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridianspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coupe by Meridian, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street Spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope in Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10, And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distanced seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com, and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Your dreams were your ticket out. Friday. It's a Friday. Big
Friday,
plans
baby.
for the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a real birthday this weekend. The real day.
The real deal?
So I'm making a killer dinner.
Oh, cool.
With actually one of our Tuesday night summer dinner series helpers. I had asked one of our helpers to see if they had any free time, and they said, I do this, I'll come to your house, and I'll make a killer
I don't
dinner.
know what you're talking about, and neither does anybody else.
I know.
now.
Well,
Who's the helper?
It's a special. Helper is Richard. He's on.
And what's he helping with?
He is helping with Jesusio Silva's dinner on Tuesday night.
He's doing what for you?
He is actually going to be coming up and making my girlfriend dinner.
Why?
For her birthday, real birthday, this coming up.
What do you mean her real birthday?
Well, we went and we did a weekend
say her
birthday
birthday.
getaway. Yeah, her birthday.
Okay.
It's Richard Hammond's.
Yeah.
5-star to you catering company. And
cool.
Yeah, so I'm trying to help out, support a little bit, and he's going to come up and make
fantastic.
some great food.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
Yeah, should be a good time. If you want to come, you're more than welcome.
Jay, big plans? Date night?
For what, this weekend?
Yeah, tonight's
No.
date night for, we should throw that out for George Eater. It's date night at the movie theater. Where's the movie theater?
The movie theater is at
It's in the,
Landmark.
Landmark.
Yeah.
He sent me home with a pizza last week from Pizza Republica. It was a smoky, what was that? Oh, God, I got to look that up. It was delicious smoky mozzarella on it. And,
Was that the one we tasted at the end of the night?
Yes.
That he got me to,
wow.
one of the best.
It was such a delicious
yeah.
pizza. Anyway, do yourself a favor. If you got date night, you'll see Jay there tonight.
Get the muscles.
Are you going tonight, Jay?
No, I don't have.
Drive-in.
Don't. Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know.
kind of.
He had when we
big blow up movie screen.
Yeah, and he Princess Bride, I guess, which I forfeited. That's not my jam, but I picture like one of my movies if they were up on that big screen. Man, he showed me pictures. It was far out.
Picture one of your movies?
Yeah, one of my movies that
not your home movie that you make?
That's what I was like going.
One of your movies.
Whoa,
where's that tripod? Where's that
Open it up to something different.
Oh God, Jay just did.
one of my iconic movies, like Ghostbusters, for example, or The Big Lebowski, or Super Troopers, along Caddyshack.
Okay. Well, when you say your movie,
that's true.
You
But I'm
scaring
speaking
people.
to the masses
That's right.
on audio.
Hey, what'd you guys think of starting out 2 p.m. right here, the Modern Eater Show? Proud of all of us, really, truly. And here's why. Have these types of heavy hitters in our industry trusting us to use this as a platform to get out some great information. I mean, just job well done. Jay lining them up, knocking them down, putting them in, asking good questions. But to have these guys participate with us.
That was cool.
To use this platform. Yeah. No place else you're going to find that.
I totally agree. I mean, listen, I believe the Modern Eater is one of the most legitimate food and beverage shows in Colorado.
We try. I mean, we put some effort in there. Summer Dinner Series. You got to check one of these out, right? SummerDinnerSeries.com. All you have to do is just take a look at the lineup. And again, I think that's a testament to see these professional chefs, these heavyweights, lining up to do a dinner for us, right? They donate their time. These series keep us alive, right, as an organization. And, I mean, granted, we give a portion of the proceeds to Chef's Choice Charity. The first week with Carrie Baird is chef in Boulder, Jose Rosenberg's daughter, Sophie, and Sophie's Neighborhood. Great cause for that. Raised a few bucks for them. Last week was Extended Hands of Hope, Biker Jim's charity. This coming week, a new one every single week, but truly to have the community gather around and us be able to source these products and go out and get them, yesterday going to Frontier Trout Ranch and seeing Kermit Cranston, just how that guy lives. I think Kermit's on the stream, so I'm not going to talk too much about the guy, but he knows it. He's living out there just wilderness style.
I thought it was super impressive.
And so when you go trout ranch, that doesn't make sense. Go if he'll have you, go visit. It's a trout ranch.
Yeah,
he's out there wrangling fish.
Well, and he
lives like a rancher.
He does. But I thought it was cool as he's experimenting with
Is it
new
weird
fish,
that I want to
or-
stay like a couple of days or a week there and, hang out and wrestle trout and fly my drone around and
I don't
put
think it's
back
weird
a
at all.
couple of craft beers?
Did you and I talk about the fact that driving through that valley yesterday, some of the footage that you're going to see today, right now?
Yeah.
I think you and I were very clear about the fact that we're both in a place we
start
could go
playing.
out to something like this
Put this
and
side by
live.
side. Yes, and more as you get older, you do that. I am a city boy. I do love a bit of that, but more and more as I'm getting a little bit older, to be able to control my food and land and the stewardship of something like that, I'd be up for the challenge. I just wonder if I have it in me. I really do. These men and women that are out there, it's rugged.
Do you
right?
want sound for this?
There is no sound, Jay. It's a drone.
Well, listen, man.
Jesus.
Listen,
This
man.
guy.
Maybe you guys were talking or something, and you want to hear it. All right,
How
that
does
wasn't.
the
I
drone
wasn't
have
trying
a
to ask a
microphone?
stupid question.
The-
I thought maybe,
Drones with microphones.
This-
I bet
this
they
is-
have
this
one.
is why I love coming in. This is
It's
why
okay.
I love it.
Why? Because you can't get somebody cajoling you because you asked if there's sound on the drone.
No, I can get. Let me add sound.
Thank you, Freeman. Thank you.
Lighten up, Jay. Isn't that your tagline?
Lighten up,
Lighten
baby.
up.
Lighten up.
Come on. Lighten up, Jay. Look at this, Jay. First of all, do you see those wires across the way there? Staying away from them.
I
Here's
see
what
those
we're
propellers.
I know. I don't know why. That's
You
like
got to
a
go one click down.
That's
man, I'm
that's a
telling you.
drone flaw.
No,
Well,
well, I mean, yeah, but I think that when I was messing around with it
Look at
with
those
you
mountains.
outside, you can go. I think you can go a one down and they'll.
Does anyone know where that is? That's a big question.
Colorado.
That's the San Luis Valley.
Thanks. That's the San Luis Valley. Those are the Crestone Peaks over there.
That's so
and
awesome.
the white. Is that the White Sands? You should be able to see it, sort of, but I can't tell if that's just a shadow.
Here's
or...
what we're doing, Jay. Check it out. So we're trying on the follow me feature, right? But it doesn't go through the car, I guess. So right there, what you're seeing is that it said, okay, that's enough. We can't get your signal. So it just stood there. But we're off. We're like,
That's you guys.
yeah.
in that
So
car?
it's done. So we're back. Like at this point, we're up the road a piece and we're stopped. And I'm like, okay, the drone just lost signal and it's in a tree, or not a tree. It's went up against the line, or it's down in the ground. So it just stood in the air.
Does it keep recording or does it stop recording?
I need Jay in a good mood, or I can't continue. I'm going to stop the show.
I'm in a good.
I'm going to stop
I'm in
the
a fine
show.
mood. I'm in a fine mood.
No,
Here,
you're
let me
not.
give you
Yes,
the
I
sound.
I'm going
am.
to stop the show.
Yes, I am.
right now.
Yes, you can stop. You can do whatever you want. I'm in a fine mood, bro.
Okay.
I'll come over
Tell
and
me a
kiss you
joke.
on the mouth.
Tell me a joke.
Can we square dance?
I only ever remember one joke, and it's not appropriate for the show.
Okay.
Let me.
You're
why?
good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
You guys can mouth kiss after.
I didn't mean to say that you should not make fun
No,
of you.
no,
because
no,
you
no,
didn't-
no. Listen, lighten
No,
up,
they
all
didn't.
right?
Okay.
You know.
All right, so we're backing up over here. It's still playing, but it's still connected, so it's just got nothing. So right here,
Is
so we're
it
back
still
to it.
really
So
playing?
now I know that I have to hang my hands out the window, right? Just so it stays connected. So here, I'm back out of this thing.
I see
right?
you.
All right,
I
so
see
there
you.
I am. When we get back into the car, so I'm just identifying it. I got it. I'm still a little nervous of those lions over there, but you can't be too high up in the air or it won't do the follow me feature. So I'm like, okay, Brian, let's do this again. I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of unnerving to be in a vehicle that you can't see the drone, but you can see the screen shot of your phone because you have an app on your phone.
Aren't you seeing this right
on
here?
the phone? Yeah, inside the vehicle.
But see, his arm just came out of the vehicle with the remote.
Right.
So here we go. Now this is movie footage, Jay. This is where you'll love
where
it and be
it,
proud of me. All right. It doesn't. So this is the drone being herky-jerky like this as it follows us. I don't know if it'll even out, but this is the drone doing this on its own. But here's this awesome footage, baby.
I mean,
well, it might not be great.
Now listen, I'm not
this
saying
isn't
that,
the
but-
best
This
stuff.
isn't the one. Wait
Okay.
until we get to Salida, and he shows you the Salida video. Truly one of the best videos he's done.
Because I think technically, if
So this feature is interesting. It's an interesting feature. I've seen this type of stuff, and maybe it is because of where I have the camera that it's going down to try and follow us and look for it. If I would have had it down just over our head looking at us, that it wouldn't be jerking like this.
Well, I mean, you definitely, I know those propellers, man, those would be gone for sure. But, and I think it'd be, that'd be pretty dope if it was just right above you.
So it's a work in progress for that. That's that video. So we got that down.
Okay.
But we're going to go to this next video,
We're gonna go.
which is, to me, this is like a commercial for natural grocers.
Well,
I mean,
how do you
they
know
should
that's
reach
the
out.
next one?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't know.
This is where I'm we found a dirt road, right? So having a little fun with this dirt road. And,
This is the one I like right here, too. This is another good one.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to buzz the road. Let's see if I can.
We did get approached by some ranchers that weren't too...
Yeah, like once you're on people's property, they kind of frown upon you, like they think you're doing surveillance.
Yeah, like you're the bank.
Some dude out there with a shotgun,
you should have seen these.
Stop looking in my bedroom.
We got some good looks from a couple farmers that were not too happy that we were.
But look at that. I mean, boy, that's some good farming land, huh?
Yeah.
So you're the irrigation for that, in order to have that green, because I don't know, would you call it drought year?
It's not quite a drought year, but I think we're pretty darn close to it. If it's not.
See, I wonder why it's glitching like that, though. I'm doing some pretty good sweeps here, and I'm wondering. No, I am. I'm doing some sweeps here. Look, I'll fly around and then sweep it back, and then here we go. We got to sweep it too. Just thought we'd do a little bit of hi. See, we're trying to. But I don't know why it's
why it's chopping like
that.
I mean,
it wasn't.
See, hi. I'm just. I mean,
I don't know why that's choppy right there.
Listen, man, the fact that you haven't crashed it into like the one telephone pole that's out there is pretty. I'm impressed by that, but. This is a great landscape for practicing of drone aviation, right? I mean, but not super interesting of stuff to look at.
Well, that takes us to the next video to where it's probably not the best landscaping for. Is this the one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's upside down for some reason there.
No, it's not. Okay, what's this one?
Yeah, that's the one where we were.
Oh, yeah. Now, see, we thought it would be cool. Like, here's this. See where the gauge is, where it's cut out between these rocks? We wanted to fly.
So stop right there for 1 second. Just go a hair back right there. Now, I don't know if you see that, but through that little crack of those two things, just off to the left is a truck, right? Right? Do you see that truck right up there? Not that truck that's driving. It's parked right there. That you were right on it. There's a truck, and those are the farmers that were sitting there watching us. Because I was eyeing
their house
them.
right there.
Yeah, there's their house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was eyeing them, and I was like, gosh, what are these guys sitting there watching us for? And then they decided, we're done.
Yeah.
We're going to come over and make you move.
What'd they do?
They
stink-eyed us.
Yeah,
and
big time.
I was just like, hey, just couple of guys with a drone, So, sorry.
And they're just a couple of farmers with a gun.
Just a couple of 50-year-old guys with a drone and no pants. Just leave us alone, all right?
But look at that, man. I mean, beautiful
see, wouldn't
day.
have that been cool?
Yeah.
To fly through there. It was cool all the way around.
You were getting nervous here when I was. So let's see. Maybe we'll see him pull up here, Let's see.
So this is the San Luis
This is
Valley?
San Luis Valley. So that's a gun barrel, I think
Is
is what he calls
before or
it.
after?
After Kermit's.
After Kermit's place?
Because we could not get the drone going at Kermit's for some reason, but we got it going afterwards.
Oh, there's my gut.
His T-shirt.
Okay. So what do we got here? Okay, this is what Brian wants.
Yeah, this is truly one of the best videos, just because of the way it rolls out. I just really
well, and we had 0 battery left on it, so I just wanted to get it up just to see the S. S.
Yeah,
S on the
yeah.
Slater mountain, and then but we're in the street. And we're drawing a crowd of kids and stuff, thinking I'm going to do zippity-doo-dahs with the
or drive one into their neck.
Yeah, and I'm like, thinking, I hate to disappoint.
Zippity-doo-dahs. They think I'm going to do zippity doo.
Okay, here we go.
Love it.
We're going to try and sell this to natural grocers.
Look at this. Look at that, Jay. Come on, babe.
No,
But
listen.
look at that scenery.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Look at the
Downtown
town of
Salida.
Salida. You know.
I gotta tell you though. I mean, I know I shouldn't be so harsh. I was a little disappointed in that. The
restaurant? You're still fixated on that, huh?
Well, the cocktails
was
were nice.
well,
but-
let me ask you this, because inside of my head, the picture you guys painted for me, it's just some place with no sign, and this is like a restaurant.
It was
that
packed. Like
that
it was
people-
one of the
Oh,
restaurants
okay.
that had a full
All right.
patio filled
Okay.
with everybody. It
Have
was
you heard of it before?
inside.
Like, or is it anyway?
No.
Yeah, inside of my head, I'm thinking you guys were in the middle of nowhere and just some kind of.
Well, you remember we were all right here.
Dirt hole restaurant.
You remember
and
that,
just
Jay?
stopped
We
it.
were all right here when we on the summer road trip. We were all right in that
Okay.
same spot. And we went to a restaurant that was right there. And boy, what a just a. But our waitress was really nice. Big shout out to Savannah there.
Stage one.
She
Yeah.
sounds nice.
Savannah.
She was very nice.
She was
very
very
nice. And Summer Dinner Series, SummerDinnerSeries.com. I don't know.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
What's the over-under on Larry calling back with... I got to Google this. He's a linebacker? What
He
do
says
you
he's
say his
the
name? What do you say?
defensive captain, Todd something.
I can't believe
Todd
that.
Todd.
I'm ashamed
Todd-
of myself, really,
Todd
because
Erickson.
as a kid, I knew every Denver Bronco on there.
Hey,
offense,
listen, man, and-
bench, the
and
whole thing.
I
you
got
know?
a comedy routine for sports and for driving and stuff. But
I
it's
can
like,
tell
listen,
you the whole Orange Crush defense.
I know, but you're like as you get older,
Carl Mecklenburg.
Let me just say,
Lyle Alcedo. Right.
As you get older, man, I think it's totally normal
Steve
to know
Atwater.
less and less about sports. Right? I think that's totally organic. The older you get, like when you're in your 20s, in your 30s, and by your 40s, if you're in your 40s.
What's his name? Todd what?
I don't know. Todd something.
Todd Bam Bam?
Yeah, Bam Bam.
Bam
Do
Bam.
that. Do Todd Bam Bam Broncos.
This is terrible. People
Um,
are probably out there.
I'm with you where you're going with this.
You know what I
Jay.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, you should know less and less about sports because your priorities should really be going and this is just my opinion. And I'm 44 and I don't, I'm not going anywhere or know anything. So I'm not the poster. It's do as I
Todd
say,
Davis.
not as I do. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, you shouldn't know too
Well,
much.
especially because natural things
you're-
happen.
If
Like
you're-
you start having kids, you start.
If you're 50 years old and you know stats of players on any
I mean, you
team
guys,
in
we
the
might
world,
have a Denver Bronco on and we don't deserve it because we don't even know.
Well,
that
I'm just
guy.
not a sports guy. You guys are maybe sports guys. I'm not a super sports
trying
guy.
to get some pictures of him up here. Where's images? Okay.
It is interesting what you're saying, though, Jay, because I agree
know if
with
it's
it. I mean,
interesting. It's just-
but I do know guys
Just
that
my
are.
opinion.
I know guys that are 50, 60. They go to baseball games and they listen to the game in their ears. They
Davis.
watch the game.
Well, I've seen Davis 51. Sure, I guess I didn't know his first name was Todd.
Don't try to act like now you know who
No,
he
I
is.
don't. But from the number and a look, I know the cut of his jib.
Once I see the uniform,
do,
I get it.
you know?
Yeah. I've seen somebody wearing a football jersey before, so here we go, touchdown.
Man, he might
Well,
be
no,
on the
you know
show.
51 because you've seen him.
Yeah,
make some,
right.
Yeah, seen him make some hits.
Seen him make some hits. Yeah. Nice hit. High five.
Yeah,
High
Davis.
five.
And Bam Bam. So he's what? So they're bringing cookies over to him, the Sugar Sister cookies?
Yeah, Sugar
So,
Sister.
that's
apparently-
going to be. Listen, is there anybody? Is there 3 people watching this? Because if this happens,
10.
you 10 people watching this stream right now, you'll be in for a treat. First of all, Denver Bronco crushing cookies with a pretty girl from a.
Sugar Sweets.
Sugar Sisters.
Sugar Sisters.
Do you try?
From
Do you
Sugar
just
Sweets.
try to not to? Is it a shtick?
No, man, it's totally.
It's
really-
not. That's why it's so entertaining.
Is it entertaining?
Because
Because you're going to have to be the one who takes care of him when he's older.
when he goes
Yes.
when he goes off the deep
When
end.
he
Greg
can't-
thinks it's
Listen,
Alzheimer's.
man, I'll just,
I know
I'll
it's
just
just
like,
my dyslexia.
I'll smother him. Either one of you, I would smother, and I would
would?
appreciate the same treatment to me. To where if it's that kid where I'm being taken care of, just smother me.
Dude, I
out.
did you a favor. I
Are
just
you-
killed you. You're good.
I mean, listen,
Get it.
my mom always told me, if I'm in that place, you take care of it.
It's
I'm
Greg. It's the worst affliction because it's called dysgraphic. If you want to look it up, Okay.
Oh man, he's gonna go. He's going serious.
And
on it.
you put in your mind things go backwards. And so it's like trying to think of something, and you're switching stuff around, and you're like, no, I know the way that goes is like this. But then it comes out of your mouth, and it's like, oh, yeah, I just called Chad Cole. Thank you, Chad. Nice to meet you, Cole.
Hold on a second now. Okay, so now you're taking it down the medical route a little bit, disorder-wise.
Yeah, it's dysgraphic, if you want to look it up.
Dysgraphic
Dysgraphic and dyslexia.
Right.
I have both conditions. So.
Okay, so when somebody's name is like Carl and you call them Bob, where is the...
Well, that's just completely just like either I'm looking at another word and I'm looking at that word, but I'm looking at another word and just throwing it in there. And it's the worst thing. Try reading. Trust me. If you walked in my shoes and you tried to read, which I do, but it's a pain in the arse because you.
Now, how do you manage that in business world?
In
everyday life.
Well, think about how many people couldn't even read or write, but became.
No, I'm not talking about them.
Well,
I'm talking about you. How do you manage that?
It's tough. You got to work a little bit harder than other people.
You do.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to work a little bit harder. You got to pay a lot more attention. You got to make sure that you.
But
trust,
one thing I find that
trust.
you do well with it is humor around it.
Yeah.
Identify it. It's not like you're hiding it. You just laugh.
Well, because it's all I got, man. It's like I can't do anything.
I
else
love
about
when he does stuff like my good friend, Jeremy, right? And it's like, oh, you mean Joel, who's obviously not your good friend because you would know the guy's.
Well, now it's
how long did I call you guys? Remember, it took
now
me a year to get you guys just.
Now it's just so much less funny that it's an actual disorder because maybe Jeremy or Joel is his good friend.
Yeah.
He just is crossed on the name, and so now it's less funny. God, I wish you
No,
would
you could still
have
make
just
fun of
buried
it.
that
It's
deep
just-
down and not
listen,
admit.
have fun with it, man. If we can't smile at ourselves in life, we've got bigger problems.
Did your lapse of judgment make you buy the girl Apple Watch instead of the?
I actually like this because it makes me more in touch.
Is your battery
with my feminine? Yeah,
I
got to
don't
go
get
down and
why
get.
do you say that that's the girl version? I don't
He
get
just busted my chops.
Because
He
there's
just
a
wants to-
large and a small one, and the
But it
man
doesn't.
and a
It
women.
doesn't say man or woman.
Is
at
yours
all
different
anywhere.
than his?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the man's one.
And if go to the Apple
face is
website,
bigger.
Jay, and see if it says anywhere man or woman. Nowhere it says that. Now they have colors. See if he wanted to bust my.
Do they put men
bust
or
my
women
chops.
on panties?
Yeah, I
No,
think
they
they
don't.
do. I
They
think
don't.
they
I
do.
mean, not the
You
best
just
analogy
Yeah,
in the
not
world.
the best analogy
But
because they
and-
make man
and-
versus women underwear.
And
Yes, all day long.
I don't think you're allowed to say panties anymore.
But
either.
applicable. You can't?
No, it's women frown upon that. It's underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
How would you
We're
know
not
that?
touching that subject.
You
Just
don't even
move
get around
on.
women. You don't
move on from that, man. Let's not talk about any underwear. I wear a.
Yes, we know.
Oh.
Don't tell the world,
I
please.
wear-
Don't scar any children that might be watching.
What
this
if
show.
is Larry standing by?
No, he's
All
not.
right, we
man.
might
Let
wrap
me-
this up.
let me shoot
the
him a
minute
text.
that we wrap this up,
He's going to text
with
and be
the-
like, "Oh, I'm here.
Well,
Where are you
let
guys?"
me shoot him a
Denver
text
Bronco.
and just be like, "I'm popping in, bro."
Or they're there and famous linebacker Todd Davis goes, "Cool, let's look at the stream first," and they tune in and see four
Panties.
people watching us talk about panties. And he goes, "You know what, Larry? I'm going to go ahead and pass."
Yeah, that's
on
yeah,
this."
that's right. He goes,
Hey, but let me ask you a question about sports.
Yeah.
What's your take on the sports venues, whether they're going to happen or not, whether people are going to be playing with no fans in the stands?
Yeah,
is
I
that-
go to TV. They're going to find other ways to revenue model, but they're going to try and put a product out there.
Well, I can
I'm
see that
surprised
size,
they
but do you think
haven't already?
it's still going to be? Do you think the lack of crowd or fans? In
Oh,
the
people
seats,
are going to watch the hell out of it.
Well, I think they'll watch the hell out of it. Now, don't get me wrong, but do you think the lack of the crowd though will change the intensity of the players?
Sure.
That's sort of where I'm going with it.
Of course.
Everything will change.
Game's
everything.
game. You know what? I played ball. Right?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I did.
4 touchdowns.
He
in one
he
game.
would have been on the
High
Broncos
school
if
ball.
it wasn't for this damn show.
No, listen,
Polk High. I scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
And here's the thing: is when you're in the game, in the action, you're kind of just focused on what you're doing. I agree fully. The hype up from it does get you going.
Well, we're the 12th man in Denver, right?
The fans,
I mean,
yeah.
That's a big deal in Denver because we have changed game. I mean, I think the fans.
You guys
want
to hear an idea? Have you seen them play in basketball in the bubble over there in Orlando? Right, so they're going to try and pull off the season in Orlando, in the Magic Kingdom, right, in that arena there called the Bubble, I think. So the setup is interesting because they have the court, but there's like a select amount of fans, like a small portion of people in there watching, and then the back is like huge TV screens or backdrops or whatever. What if in the style of what we do right now with the Zoom calls and everything else is that there's virtual fans that actually get a seat on the screen and they're there and you pump in their noise from their microphones. And
that's an interesting thought.
That's a super interesting thought.
You got whoever's watching out there, network.
Yeah, somebody just made $1 billion.
You can have that, man.
Yeah.
Well, but did you hear what they did in South Korea? I thought that was cute.
Oh my! What?
They put the sex dolls in the stands. Did you hear about
Here
that?
we go.
They got a lot of trouble for that one, but that was good.
Larry says he's not home yet. I can put the sisters on. I say we connect back to Larry. We let these 11
I
people.
say we kill this stream
and start a new one.
Start
when he's
a new
on.
stream when he's ready to roll, and then we'll pop it off on him.
I mean, it's up to you. But Larry's there. He's like, we can do this or we can, something. No guarantee. I mean, nobody knows what time he shows up. My only concern is if we connect with Larry right now and just keep him going.
Well, let's take Larry and the Sugar Sisters
while
out
they're on.
When
Todd shows up, he's stuck.
Yeah,
we force him into it.
Connect. This is going to be good. You guys, whoever's watching right now, 4:15 the Mile High City.
Tell your friends.
Friday, July 24th, Denver Bronco. We're waiting for.
We're standing by.
Todd Davis.
Yeah,
he's going to hate every second of all of this.
To basically
his
force
house,
him into this.
See his car.
Whatever.
You are
his bathroom.
Yeah,
Larry's going into the head.
Can't go into his bathroom.
Yeah.
He says he's his friend. Larry's a pretty likable guy. He gets it done. Larry gets it done, though.
He does, man. I was actually going to pay him a compliment on the stream and just didn't get around to it. But his, I don't know what the word is, determination or something, where he's like, he'll tell you, I go to bed at midnight, I get up at 7 every day. And I do this, and by 8 o'clock I'm doing this, and by 9 o'clock I'm doing that. And I'm like envious of that and jealous of that, of his mindset to just, he can adhere to it.
You mean that he has a schedule and a calendar?
If linebacker Davis, if he joins the show, we're going to have some work after the show to clip that out.
What's his name here?
Send it out there. Could be good waiting for Larry Hers. He's with the Sugar Sisters, plural, or just one?
He says I could put the sisters.
They're both there.
Is Todd 2 Ds?
I want to see it.
TODD. Let me look. Yes. Todd Davis, number 51. Sorry, Todd, in advance.
Sorry for what?
Well, this.
Oh, just the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully, Listen, all jokes aside, we all know we're wonderful and our hearts are in the right place, and it'd be fun. I mean, it'd just be super fun to talk to a Denver Bronco, be like, you like cookies? Far out. Punch Larry in the face. Tackle Larry now.
Oh, yeah.
God, tackle Larry into a wall.
That
and I'll
would be
give you my
great.
car. I mean, he doesn't need my car, but I'll give it to you.
It was his neighbor, guys. Come on now. He's not going to
tackle Larry. I don't know.
That'd be far out.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. You can get
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Yeah, Jose
yeah. Josecio.
You've been spending way too much time with that
you,
Brian guy.
With you, yeah. Jesus Silva, chef's cooking up a delicious dinner. I can tell you what, he's got the best of the best and some Colorado ingredients. His birthday is Sunday, right?
Yep.
We want a full house for him. He's getting close.
But
SummerDinnerSeries.com is where you can get tickets. What?
Beautiful wife told me today she's going to be picking up a 4-top for her and some friends.
Oh, really?
Yep. She said, so make sure that I have one. And so I'm making sure.
Why are you calling her beautiful?
Oh, she's incredibly smart intelligent, beautiful woman. I think she's great. I think Elena's a great, smart businesswoman. I like her a lot. I think she and Jose.
You're really backpedaling that one.
Man, well,
Not
listen,
at
man.
all.
You
Not
did
at
that to
all.
him, and you know it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, you
tried
did
to
that to
sell
him.
me
Jesus,
on
how's your gorgeous wife?
Hey, I'm not
How's she
looking like
doing?
a perv like you over there, man. I'm
Why?
just saying something
She's
nice
a very
about the.
attractive woman. He's a lucky man. He very is.
I mean, they both
But
are great
she's
people.
a lucky
though.
woman.
They're both, they're both great people. I mean, they deserve each
And
other.
their story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
She was a customer of his
Mm-hmm.
at Sushi Saza.
Yep.
I have a hard time saying Sushi Saza. Say
And
that
then she went
5
out
times fast.
Sushi Saza, Sushi Saza, Sushi Saza, Sushi Saza.
You got no
Sushi
problem.
Saza, Sushi Saza.
Connect, Larry. No, they looked at the stream. They saw 3 people were on it. And look at the front yard. Jay, turn your mic on. We want to hear your conversation.
Yeah, man. No, we're sitting here. We're ready to go. We're gonna, bum rush him if he shows up. I'm gonna talk him into tackling you into a wall, and everybody wins.
All right. Trying to get Larry to connect. He's outside.
All right,
of his house.
yeah. Larry's outside of his house. Yeah, just connect, man. Let's have a little fun with the Sugar Sisters.
So, Greg, did I tell you
All
I
right,
was
buddy.
over at
I wanna
Broadway
see
Market
these
twice today
cookies.
already? And
You dropped that fish off?
early.
Yeah.
Early. That was my first
Did
time.
he
there.
like it? Did he see him?
Oh, he was stoked.
He was?
Yeah, he was stoked about it. And guess who was there doing a commercial for his campaign? Who is running right now in Denver that you would think would be in the food and beverage establishment doing a commercial?
For a campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Running for what?
I believe he's running for either Congress or Senate.
And food and beverage?
Mm-hmm. Food and beverage.
Hickenlooper.
Yep. Bingo.
He was at Broadway Market?
He was at Broadway Market this morning.
Did you take a
doing
picture?
I'm not one of those guys.
What do you mean? Was for the show?
No, I was thinking about asking him. Yes, I did.
You were thinking about
I didn't
asking
do it.
him.
I didn't do it well, man.
Hey, man, neither one of you took pictures of fish from.
Well,
what's his
that's
name
I
place.
have some on my phone. I need to send it over to you.
Oh, do you have some on your phone?
I got something in here.
I need something that's at least decent for
Let
the
me take a
website.
look.
And when do you want to play our video from Harper
you
Feeders?
told me Friday.
Tomorrow,
I
or
queued up.
not
I
tomorrow.
mean,
Well, we might be able
Monday,
to put a special.
Monday.
Monday'd be good, right?
Yeah,
we're always looking for
because the
something.
dinner's Tuesday, so that still fits.
Maybe even Tuesday. Wrap something around. We should start working on Tuesday shows. Something to can.
That's a good idea.
You
I
know.
do not see
Yeah.
how I did not get
Yeah.
any of this. That's darn sure.
Waiting on Larry Hers to connect.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. You guys, still tickets available to Chef Jesucio's dinner. And if you haven't watched some of the video that's online right now of the dinners, I implore you to go to themoderneater.com. Watch some of the videos. Look at the pictures. See how much fun people are having. Man, listen, it's like you always regret it when you look back and you see and you go, man, I could have been at Jesucio's dinner and I could have been eating Colorado trout and I could have been doing the things that these people did because there's not a lot of people at them. It's 50 people. That's it. I'm just saying, do it. Here comes
Lair. What's up, Lair?
Let's get him in here.
Larry Hers with his favorite people, the Sugar Sisters.
He likes himself a cookie, doesn't
We
he?
should introduce the Sugar Sisters to the Whiskey Sisters. See what happens. All right, here's Larry Hers in an undisclosed location not near you.
Yep.
And there's
Can you hear me?
There's the Sugar Sisters. Hey.
Hello, Molly. Hello. So you guys haven't met Molly yet?
No, hi, Molly.
Other sister. Hello.
Hello, Molly.
Molly, did you mean it when you guys gave Larry a phone? Did you mean all those nice words?
The phone that you guys got me.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was for someone. It was for another Larry.
You guys said such nice things about Larry. And then you said you didn't know if you'd be in business without him. I highly doubt that because you're very talented ladies.
No. I mean, I stand by that statement. No, I mean, our friendship has obviously it started with food and then I mean, Larry's done amazing things for all the local restaurants for independence. It's amazing. He's all right.
We all love some Larry, that's for sure. You guys are hanging out in the truck waiting for now. some people. Oh,
yeah. Oh, rolling up now.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the.
he's going to be so mad when he rolled, not because of you guys, but because Larry's got a camera rolling. But what did you bring him? You got some treats today, right, guys?
We did. We made a cookie out of Fruity Pebbles the other day, and I named it Bam Bam because I'm old enough to remember the cartoon and the children's names from the Flintstones. And then Larry he was like, oh my gosh, I don't follow football, so I had no idea that we had a player with, this nickname. But, and he said, Bam Bam wants some Bam Bam cookies. And I think I just sent a question mark. I was like, what?
We are.
So we brought everything, cookies, brownies, cupcakes, stuff for the kids. So yeah.
Can we see one, or is it wrapped up?
They're all boxed up and sealed just because of COVID, so we close up all of our boxes. Unfortunately, you're going to look at a piece of white cardboard. So maybe they'll.
I love white cardboard.
Box, I'm not sure.
So for those folks that are like, okay, I like cookies. Who are these young ladies, and where can we get their cookies?
Yeah, we're in Castle Rock off of Founders Parkway, Sugar Sisters Bakery. We're right in between Five Guys and Noodles and Company. There's a Starbucks. There's tons of stuff by us, so just come on in. And most of our products are $2.99 a piece. Buy 10, get 2 free. So lots of good deals. I'm going to pass you here.
Oh, I have my mask on.
And you're Molly, right?
Yes, I am Molly.
Hey, Molly.
Nice to meet you.
A lot going on. Sorry you have to deal with us right now. You're trying to focus on this. Get Molly. Oh, there's Larry. Larry, give us the play-by-play.
There's a play-by-play, and there's Todd and Zena.
What's happening, Todd and Zena?
Hey.
We are apologizing in advance. I know you didn't expect this, but we're harmless. We live in Larry's phone.
Okay. So, Bam Bam cookies for Bam Bam, yes, that's Todd's nickname. And so when I saw the cookies, I'm like, I gotta get them these cookies.
Yeah.
And that's the story. So they're all Fruity Pebbles, but they brought you everything.
Oh, okay.
They brought you the whole store. And I don't think you've had any of her stuff.
We're going to let you guys get on with seeing the cookies, obviously, but we got to ask, okay, do you guys make cookies in the family? And if so, who makes what cookie? Because I'm sure somebody has a famous grandma's recipe or something like that.
Not really. No, I think my parents make peanut butter cookies. Like, that's my favorite, my dad's favorite. So they make the peanut butter cookies with a fork that you press into the middle. So
That's how you can always tell that's the peanut butter one, the fork, right?
As a kid, I always thought I was getting slighted with the peanut butter cookies, kind of like, it was like the oatmeal cookie. I didn't want the oatmeal. I wanted the chocolate chip.
No. I'm always pissed when that's all that's left. Yeah.
Chocolate chips like the Primo cookie for me. But I'm a big ice cream fan. You guys dig on some ice cream?
Oh, I love some ice cream. Like anything sweets, I'm really big on.
Are you big on sweets? For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, thanks for letting us interrupt you. Actually, we'd like to catch up with you sometime. We do food and beverage. We do a show called The Modern Eater Show, and it's a local Colorado food and beverage. We talk about beer and spirits and food and ranching and farming and chefs, and we do something called a summer dinner series. I don't know if you guys like to eat, but we'd sure love to have you as
Why do you
our.
think we're friends?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool. We'd love to have you as a guest sometime at our dinner series, and maybe Larry can show you which chefs are cooking when. But
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You'll be gone soon, right?
Yeah, I have off days though. So
Yeah. So it's every Tuesday night?
Every Tuesday night, yeah. If you
Yeah,
can,
like the best chefs in town are doing this
if
dinner
you ever
series
make
with
time.
these guys.
Okay.
Who's coming up this week?
This week is Chef Jesucia Silva is coming up, and then we've got Dana Rodriguez, we've got George Eater, we've got Justin Brunson, we've got Troy Guard, and those are some pretty sweet
Brother
houses around you guys. Man,
It's not it is. They don't live around here.
holy cow! Somebody,
Look, hide the address.
that's some
All right.
good stuff. So,
It's good seeing you guys.
show us around. Let's go inside.
No, we're not going inside.
I love to see bathrooms. I bet they got a big old cool bathroom, Larry.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next
Swimming
week.
pool? Is there? Can we see the dog? Anything?
I don't have a dog.
Bye, Larry. Bye. Thank you,
Bye,
Todd.
guys.
Thank you, Todd.
That was
Thank you,
super
Todd's
cool.
wife.
Thank you, Sugar Sisters.
Thank you, Sugar Sisters, everybody.
Wow, that was cool.
That was fun.
So it's I don't know how to get out of this thing. So I do.
Wait, let him. Oh, dang. I wanted to just be quiet.
No, because I'd be terrified that, you'd
said
hear
something
something you
terrible.
don't want to
Yeah,
hear.
Todd will come and crush you like a nail.
Well, just like, I didn't like that guy, and then you have to just go the rest of your life with that,
Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
No.
You don't want to hear that. I just, I made a couple of clips of that while it was on. I wonder if I can turn this around. Let's see what it was. Let's see what it says.
That's cool. He seemed like a nice dude.
Bring this up,
Very
Jay.
nice guy.
Oh, you got it already? Hold on.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the clip we want. No, this doesn't look like the clip we would want.
I got you up. Oh.
I'm trying to find it.
Well, no, nothing. I'm just that noise. I'm trying to track it
Let's see
down.
what this clip looks like. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Oh, this was from earlier today. Let's play this.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Says, how come my computer is muted right now? It's not.
I don't
is
know, man. Is it Facebook? Did it go back to Facebook?
He held his ground, and
this was earlier.
I believe our governor did a great job leading us to where we are today. The reason we didn't become Texas or Florida is because while we were all complaining about being limited to 50% and everything else,
God, what's that noise?
He held his ground, and it let us all stay
Some of
open.
it's
So
good.
I really feel like he's the reason we're all open today. I just disagree with this cutoff point. I don't think it's
You can
smart.
say a lot of things about the governor. One thing you can't say, he's not a dumb man. I mean, obviously, he's
That
hearing
was
this
earlier on
feedback,
today,
and
Juan
so-
Padro.
No, but he does not know a lot about our industry.
Okay, and great point. And he really doesn't. And that makes you wonder if, the governor was still Hickenlooper, whether things would have been handled a lot differently as far as restaurants and bars concerned. Was it weird seeing the owner of Little Pub Company in here, Jay, since you worked for him for so long?
I mean, somewhat, because I did work there for a long time, at least what I call a long time, and never met him once, never even saw him.
Really?
So, I mean, it wasn't weird, but it was like, oh, so that's what he looks like.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
I used to be a big fan of the spot when it was just opening up.
Proof. This is proof. Silva is coming up, and then we've got Dana Rodriguez, we've got George Eater, we've got Justin Brunson, we've got Troy Guard, and those are some pretty sweet
Brother
houses around you guys. Man,
It's not it is. They don't live around here.
holy cow! Somebody.
That's good.
That's some
All
some
right.
good stuff. So,
It's good seeing you guys.
show us around. Let's go inside.
No, we're not going inside.
I love to see bathrooms. I bet they got a big old cool bathroom there.
All right, we'll talk to you guys.
All right, you know what I love about this show today, you guys? We just ran the damn wheels off the thing. Nobody's there. All right. No.
Yeah, we're popping in from 3 and 5 here.
Nobody's home. If you're so inclined, today's show I thought was fabulous. Go back, watch it, watch the replay. It's 4:32. We broadcast for 2 hours and 32 minutes today.
Wow.
That's
Actually went by pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. We got work to do. Sourcing delicious ingredients. Brian, where are we on the shopping list?
We're just about done. I just got to pick up two ingredients that were missed. And
Do we have a new menu? Another menu? Poor Jesus.
A little bit.
He sent something over, yeah. He said something about salmon. With the salmon regarding
No.
Frontier
There
or
was some
something?
confusion about the trout versus salmon because we're going to get some of that Arctic char. He didn't give us the Arctic char. He's going to try to get it in Monday. So I think Jesus,
But we're good. I'm not driving around on Sunday.
You can
want
drive
to?
around. Do you want to? I know. I don't want to let you down.
What do
I
you
don't want. If you getting up early Sunday, and driving all day long is something.
We can go golfing. You want to go golfing?
Let's do it. Jared Leonard. We're going
Did
golfing.
you just have Tourette's right then? Jared
No.
Leonard.
I just asked him, Jared, because he's watching the show. He's a huge fan.
I know.
And I don't think he does anything else while we're on the show. I think he stops everything.
He does.
And just watches the show. And so he's going to be our golfing partner on Sunday, Jay and I.
I can't go.
You can come too.
I don't really know if I want to go. That was early, man.
Was it early?
It was like I had to get up at 5:45.
All right, this is turning into a personal conversation. So we'll continue this. You guys, thanks for joining in today. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Have a great weekend.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
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 The Modern Eater. That's our website. You can also go there as well. Lots of archived, and we will collectively get better at it, archiving the shows and making sure that every single day we not only have the video but the audio up. But
well, we want to make it
every
easier
show is
for
available
you guys to
Yes.
consume this.
Yes.
And so it's our job to really put
Tons of
together a
content.
nice, smooth.
When you say our job,
It's your job.
Yeah.
I'm speaking as ours.
It's Greg and Jay's job. All right, we'll be back Monday, right?
Yes.
Have a great weekend. The Modern Eater Show continues.